online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2. Russell Brand.
This is Russell Brand. You're listening to BBC Radio 2. We are live. I was dancing about. I feel a little bit exasperated by that. Oh, God,
terrible singing.
What, did you put that on the radio?
I think there was a little snatch of you at the end.
Yeah, it's a little snatch in you, mate. You dirty little snatch catcher. This is the Russell Brand Show on Radio 2. You're getting half an hour extra, not only of me, Russell Brand, the Sony Award-nominated radio star, but also of Matthew Morgan, who I suppose we probably... Do you feel like you've been nominated?
Yeah, completely.
I don't know. It doesn't mention you on the piece of paper. That's
it does.
all.
I saw an email and my name was in it.
In the email?
Yeah.
Oh, there must have been a mix-up at the factory. That's probably been a mix-up.
Oh, no.
Yes. Something must have gone wrong at the factory, I suppose. What a show it's going to be today. Matthew, I suppose you're excited, or are you jaded?
About what, the Sony thing?
About life, mate. Have you got a sense of joie de vivre, what Iggy Pop would call, ain't life great?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit tired, you know. Little jaded.
Little bit jaded. Well, it's going to be a hell of a show. We are actually live. If you want to communicate with us, you can. 88291. Fire that into your phone box and send us a text message, 88291. Or you can email russell.brand@bbc.co.uk with your feelings and experiences of what you feel like being on this planet at the same time as the rest of us all, just getting on. Coming up on the show, right, I should speak slow, shouldn't I, because we've got the extra half hour. Coming up on the show, Morrissey is going to be in studio here with me.
No, he's
Morrissey.
not.
He is, mate. Oh, well, he might not because the lift's broke and we're 15 floors up and we're a bit worried about that. The lift's broken here and we've got...
Are they trying to fix the lift, or is it like there's definitely no lift?
Well, someone's trying to fix it, but who's qualified to fix a lift? It's a proper it's a specialist field, isn't it? Lift repair.
Well, that's why you get a lift repairman.
Well, I've seen him, mate. You want to see the state of his overalls. I wouldn't trust him for 5 minutes. Yeah, he looks like a proper oddball. It looks like he's not wearing anything underneath his overalls. So they're just...
I don't think Morrissey will do 15 stories to come up and see you.
Do you think he might be the kind of person who'd think, F that?
I don't
15?
do stairs. You might say that.
Do it. I don't think so, because I went out with Morrissey last night and sat in the corner of a in the corner of a pub garden with him, and there were several other people there as well, including my mum. My mum was chatting to Morrissey. It's nice. It's weird, because I went off to the toilet and I came back and there was just Morrissey and my mum talking. I thought, there's life then. Morrissey and my mum chatting in the corner.
Do you call him
pub.
Morrissey when you go, all right, Morrissey?
Yeah, you do.
Really?
Yeah, all right, Morrissey. Some people, you call him Moz, but I've not got to the point where I feel comfortable enough to go, Moz, you all right, mate? Yeah, okay. Talk to... He asks you really difficult questions to answer as well. It goes, do you remember the sitcom Man About the House? There was an actress called Sandy Thompson in it. And I go, what, sorry, Sandy Thompson? Sandy Tomset. And I go, bloody hell, where's he going with it? Like, and if you don't know the things he's talking about, he gets angry with you.
Really?
Look, yeah. Like, he's not very patient about it. Yeah, he's proper funny, though. There's this bit last night, this place called Cat and Fiddle, right? It was in the corner of the bar. He'd been my gig again, because he liked my gig the first time. He come again, right? And was there, and this bird come over, came over and give me a phone number and kissed me. And when I looked round Morris, he went, well, that's absolutely disgusting. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, right? He was really disgusted by it. And I goes, yeah, look what she wrote on this bit of paper. And she'd written her name and put in parentheses, brilliant breasts. Right, and Morrissey looked at it, I goes, yeah, look at that. He goes, well, that's appalling. And then he left a few minutes later. My mum goes to him, are you going now, Morrissey? And he went, no, I'm pursuing brilliant breasts. I can chase it after her. He's
What sort
funny.
of woman does that?
Yeah, one with quite, as it turns out, quite a nice one. I was magical stroke.
Have you seen her again?
No, because I got caught up last night, a lot of antics going on. You'll like it out here. I don't know why you don't make the effort to pop on an aeroplane. What do you want me to pay for it or something? Because that's what it is.
No. Yes,
you do, don't you?
That's not
all right.
What's stopping me, but if you're going to.
All right, I will. What if it's
Business class, please.
Business class, okay.
Some little flowers on my seat when I get on.
Some warm nuts from Matty Morgan. We'll do that. Not only have we got Morrissey coming up in the show, in studio with Matt Morgan, the Sony Award-nominated presenter Matt Morgan, will be Adam Green, the brilliant Adam Green, formerly of Mouldy Peaches. He's going to be there with Matt and Mr G, the poet laureate of the show, who at the end will summarise the whole show. I've been meaning to say to G for a while, actually. G, if we've got guests in studio, can you include them in the bloody poem? Because it's embarrassing when you don't, like Joan Jonah Hill sat there and thinking, oh, hopefully G'll do a little bit and not an obnoxious, rude bit like Noel Gallagher was doing. What about that bit? Wasn't that embarrassing, Matt, when Noel was coating off Jonah?
I know, what was going on?
What's wrong with him?
He was so rude.
So embarrassed. When he goes there, he's going, no, I don't know who he is. What, am I supposed to be impressed? Am I supposed to be impressed? No, stop it, you mad drunk uncle.
Have you spoken to him since then?
Yeah, I spoke to him on the phone straight after. Goes, you all right? What's the matter?
Someone tired?
Hello? Someone's not pleased with their new
What
record.
did he say? Oh no, I was only joking. What was his attitude?
I thought he'd love that. Well, I was sensitive about it. I think Sarah's away in New York, and I think I don't want to, cast any aspersions on him, but I think, drinky, glug, glug, drinky, can he cope with lonely? So Noel Gallagher will be on the show a little bit later.
He's not
hopefully.
been left with the baby, has he?
No, they wouldn't leave him with a baby, would they? Can you imagine?
No,
It
imagine
would be
that.
like Uncle Buck. Bloody shambles. Him pushing
Actually,
a pram
Uncle Buck
about.
turned out to be a good parent in the end.
Well, that's the message of Uncle Buck, Matt, and I'm glad you've picked me up on that. Yes, so even though initially John Candy's Buck character seemed like an irresponsible parent, he brought the kids out of themselves with his sense of fun, didn't he?
Yes, exactly.
I think I could play an Uncle Buck style character, could I?
Yeah, I
Come
reckon
on.
you could, yeah.
Thanks, mate. Why don't you write it then? Stop being so lazy. Come on. Make an effort.
You
Things
could
are
do
going well.
Drop Dead Fred.
I could do Drop
You'd be
Dead
good at
Fred.
that sort of thing.
Yep, like starring Rick Mel. I could be Uncle Buck. Also, a School of Rock
Uncle Buck
type
needs
thing.
to be a fat slob.
I could be a sort of a skinny slob, can't I?
Well, you could have a fat suit like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
what's that
like in
thing?
Norbit.
Yeah,
Norbit. All right, I've got a nice fat suit on. This is looking good. This is it. I'll take this to the moguls in the morning. Get the old moguls laughing gear out round that. Yeah, get out here, mate. There's plenty of moguls want to meet up with you. So, what's my other things I've got to say? Yeah, Adam Green's in studio with Sony-nominated Matt Morgan. And I suppose G's nominated as well, is he?
Yes, it's the show.
Right.
You
'Cause I'm just
selfish
thinking...
pig. I suppose G's nominated. When he turns up and does a poem at the end of the show that's been nominated.
So, yes, let's include him. Well, jolly good, G. Well done. Bloody well done. But, G, will you please include people that are here in your bloody poems?
Yeah,
G?
the last one was a metaphor. You have to read it differently.
Well, don't do metaphors, mate. You smart
What,
ass.
did someone
Just do a
say who
poem.
wasn't in it? Jonah Hill?
No.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about Jonah.
No
Like,
one
in
in the
here.
last one.
What did Jonah say to you? I wasn't in the poem.
No, he didn't, but I was just noticed it. Do you know what I mean? Especially like something like Morrissey's coming today. You've got to include Morrissey in the summary. Also, he has star of Knocked
What's
Up
Morrissey
and writer.
rhyme with? What's Morrissey rhyme with?
I don't know, you can rhyme something with the Smiths, can't he? Or Morrissey said, the right said Fred. Morrissey did, up bin lid. Do you know what I mean? Poems ain't hard, you just don't use the word Morrissey as the rhyming word. Now, so listen, what you want to do now is listen to me, because I'm going to say something out of my mouth. Later on the show, Seth Rogen, writer of Superbad and star of Superbad and star of Knocked Up, he is going to be here talking to me about what he feels like, probably, or something. His new film, Pineapple Express, coming out soon, and so is another film, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, what I went to the premiere of the other day, Matthew.
Right, okay, how did that go?
Glamorous, as you might imagine. Me, my mum, Sharon, Nicola, John Noel, handsome Nick, manager.
Not sounding
all-
glamorous so far.
That sounds bloody awful, doesn't it?
I've met 'em
When,
all.
Listen, I know you could have come if you weren't so bloody demanding. So so we got there. And it's all like sort of there's all Hawaiian hula girls, red carpet, the Chinese man's theatre or man's Chinese theatre, whatever it's called. Like, there's loads of press, photographers, loads of people have come behind crash barriers, flash, 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 like junkets, all sort of people like sort of gathered around, like and lots of noise, and like Edward Norton was there, right, and and sort of loads of people from Judd Apatow films, and Judd himself was there. Nicola looked round it and goes, looks like Lakeside, doesn't it? Looks like Lakeside. That's how Nicola assimilated it into her understanding. Looks like a bit like Lakeside.
Did it look
And
like
she's-
Lakeside?
Doesn't look like Lakeside. She's nodding her head. It's not like Lakeside. It's glamorous Hollywood. Well, I don't know, a bit like Lakeside, I suppose. Right, and then another thing. What's that other thing that happened? Yeah, like that lad McLovin out of Superbad was there. Right, he was there, like, and sort of he come home. It's funny because he's so young. It's funny when you meet famous people, but they're dead young because you sort of they're a famous person, but really like, you sort of think, oh, little lad out of Superbad, and like Nicola likes him. She went, all right, McLovin, mate, all right? And he goes, oh, hi, my name's Chris. Yeah, McLovin, I love you, McLovin. I actually refused to accept it. It's good, it was. And then like, we see the lads out of Flight of the Conchords were there, like, and Sharon's obsessed with Jermaine out of it, right? And like, sort of, we've met up with them a few times now, and they're really, really nice. And like, they really like the film, had a nice chat with him afterwards. He's properly funny, Jermaine, but Sharon, like, sort of, you know, like, Nick described it as, like, because at the end there was quite a crowd of people, like, and I was talking to Jermaine, and all the people coming out of the cinema, and it was all sort of dead crowded. Sharon see that I was talking to Jermaine, Sharon's stylist assistant friend, and like, she, to get to Jermaine, Nick said it was like that bit at the end of Crocodile Dundee where they clamber over everyone's heads in the underground, but instead of two people heading towards each other, imagine one person heading towards another person who's trying to get away. Like, poor Jermaine character, she's always trying to put one on him.
So what did she say when she got there? Did she actually get to him?
She gets there and then she acts all natural. Once she gets there, she acts normal once she arrives.
Dusting herself off.
Oh, hello. Oh, how nice to see you. Why does he keep hassling Jermaine for, Sharon?
He's really funny. You really like him, Matt, because everything he does, all these little expressions and everything, he's just so funny. He doesn't have to say anything or do that much, and he's really sweet. You want to carry him around in your little pocket.
It's really funny. He ain't got a phone. He goes like, because Sharon was bothering him last time.
I was not.
He hasn't got a phone.
I don't have a phone. I don't have.
He said, "Oh, we can hang out at the weekend, but I don't have a phone." Right. When I've got an email address, when he's got a phone, just pointing to someone else in the room.
You know, he's got a phone. If you want, he's got a phone. Like, let's just socialise with people that've got phones. Don't even know if he knew the person he was pointing at. Right. And then this time, when Sharon came, the first time he goes, I've got a phone now. I don't have it with me. It's in the car.
It's in my friend's car.
Yeah, it's not even his own car.
And then he's like, I've still got your number. And he got out the piece of paper that he had, like, all tucked away in his wallet. It's like, what's the point of that?
Goes, I still got it. It's here on this bit of paper. And Sharon goes, you've only kept that because it's got Greg Proops' name on it. He goes, no, I haven't. Like that. He's really sweet. He's like, what was that other thing that was, like, funny? What happened with him? What did we do? When I was like, what?
He was asking loads of questions, wasn't he? He was telling you what time he goes to bed and everything.
Yeah, I thought, I liked talking to him. I thought he's someone that you could just ask him questions and he'll just answer them. Like, so I started going to him, all right, what's your lifestyle like? He goes, oh, you know, it's okay. He goes, you work hard. He goes, I can stop work at 11. We work to about 7. I goes, oh, like 8 hour day. He goes, yeah. I goes, what time do you go to bed? He goes, 1. But no one, adults don't have a regular bedtime. Do you know what I mean? It's really funny that he thought about, like, you could see him sort of work out what average time he went to bed.
You're making him sound like a buffoon.
No, he's lovely. And we were trying to get him to come on the radio show. He was like, you definitely come on. He was going, oh, next week we're going to be in England. Like, you're going to come on the week after. I was going, promise then, cross your heart and hope to die.
I do want to.
Me being as pushy as usual.
Yeah, she was really pushing him because Sharon was trying to use ulterior motives of trying to have sex with him.
But
using the radio show as a sex aid. Right, she go and like, which I've never done. And like, she go and like, yeah, and he goes, I do want to come on it. I goes, but just not very much. He goes, yeah, that's right, but just not very much. I want to come on, but not very much. Wants to come, not very much. It's well funny. Yes, hopefully we'll get them on. But today we've got Adam Green, we've got Morrissey, we've got Seth Rogen, star of Knocked Up, all coming at various times because we've got a super bumper show. I had an embarrassing moment, Matt Morgan, very much in the Matt Morgan realm of embarrassing moments. Right?
Oh, God.
I'd not yet met Seth Rogen. I was on that red carpet. It's very disorienting because, like, in England, fame happened incrementally, right? So it's like, oh, right, Big Brother seems to be going well. I went on Jonathan Ross. Oh, there's things in the tabloids day by day growing after 15 years of endless toil and me and Matt running around with home video cameras filming each other's bums and puppets and things. And it happened slowly. Here, it's like one morning, like, you know, no one gives a monkeys. And then that's 15 minutes later, everyone's, Russell! Like that. That weren't even cameras, that noise. It's just people with speech impediments lunging at me. Right? I'm on the red carpet and I see there's this woman, Donna Langley, right, who's like the president of Universal, and I've met her several times. We've talked to her about other films and all this kind of business, right? And I sort of see her and like wave to her, oh, hello, did that sort of wave. And between me and her is Seth Rogen, and Seth Rogen's like there, and I sort of made a little bit of eye contact with him, and I've never met him. And I started to do that thing that I know is exactly the sort of thing you do, Matt. I started thinking, oh, I'll be saying hello to Seth Rogen in a minute, and I've not met him, so I go, pleased to meet you. So I started my walk over to Seth Rogen and Donna Langley, who were situated close to each other with I had like, pleased to meet meet you cocked and loaded in the barrel. Do you know what I mean?
no.
And then Seth Rogen got distracted. Someone was like taking a photo of Seth Rogen. So I thought, I won't disturb him while he's having that photo done. But the pleased to meet you was still cocked and loaded
You
in the
didn't
barrel.
blurt it out, did you? To
I
someone?
blurted it.
I do that all the time. I do that all the
blurted it at
time.
Donna Langley, Matthew. I'd already met her loads of times. I went, pleased to meet you. Right. She went, oh well, you know. And then I sort of tried to sort of make up for it by sort of saying loads of things that to show that I remembered other times we've met. Oh,
Yeah.
remember when I was over there and that happened? Remember when I give you that book? You're from the Isle of Wight. Right, because she is from the Isle of Wight, you know. So, but it just looked stupid.
I know, I do that sort of thing all the time. That thing when I was walking
what's that
towards that
thing you
woman.
did?
There was a woman from work when I worked in a factory, and she was walking towards me, and I knew she was going to go, hello, you all right? Like that. I just knew she was going to say that.
She's definitely going to say, hello, you all right?
Yeah, and she was walking towards me, and then as she looked up, I went, not too bad, like that. And she never asked the question.
You just said not too bad.
Yeah, so she looked confusing. She looked confused. It was really confusing. And we just passed each other. And must have both thought, oh, that was strange. I just suddenly went, not too bad.
You have to rehearse the most basic social exchange.
I know.
Okay. I'll bring out the old not too bad, I think, for this one. People seem to like the old not too bad. Yes, now the mood's right. I'll try that. Not too bad. Oh, hello. Simply not said a thing to you. Yeah, so that happened a little bit. And there's been a lot of, lately, I've been doing a lot of, like, say, like, someone sort of you're in a group of people, someone waves, and you think, oh, they're waving at me. Even though I don't know them, I might as well wave back. And I wave back, maybe do something cheeky, hey, all right, and do some of my mimes, fire an imaginary gun, wiggle my bum, do a bit of dancing. Then I look to my right and see, oh, they're waving at that person there who knows them well, you know, and I'm not even involved in the wave. And I sort of think, oh, no,
Yeah, but
try
then
and
you
pretend.
could do another wave over their shoulder so they think, oh,
That's
right, it
the
wasn't.
technique I use. That is
Yeah.
the technique I use. So I'll just pretend there's someone on the horizon that I'm waving at, just someone real nice.
It's tragic, isn't it, really? Those things will always happen to you, no matter how famous you get.
Yeah, it will always be slightly embarrassed. There seems to be no escape from it. Hey, what was that shout? Like, you know, like we were sort of talking about how people talk funny. Right, over here we've become more aware of our accents and stuff. It's like, do you want some, with Nicola over here and that, do you want some chocolate? Do you want chocolate instead of chocolate? Do you want some chocolate? And
What flavour is it? It's caramel.
caramel chocolate. Do you want some yogurt? Right, and Nicola always says, I'm embarrassed, like that. And I think that the other one, because Sharon said, my mum had said one the other day, I bet it was peppermint. Was it peppermint? My mum goes, do you want peppermint tea? Peppermint. Have a bit of peppermint. Here, have a peppermint. She don't go peppermint, she drops out a syllable just for her own reasons. We'll never know truly what makes that woman tick. You right, Mum?
Yes, thank you.
You proud of me now?
Yes.
Do you think I done good in that film the other day?
Brilliant.
Yeah, go and see Forgetting Sarah Marshall or other films. Other films are available. Go and see any film you want. But if you want me to be
when
in
you
it,
went
should
to
be
the
that one.
premiere, do you have to
Yeah.
watch the film again?
Yeah, and I've seen it earlier that day because I've been doing the DVD commentary.
And do people turn around and like look at you when it's your bit and go, well done on that bit?
I think people were inclined to laugh louder around you at your bits because I think they're sort of aware that you're there. So, oh, that's a good bit that you just done. So, like, yeah, I think that
But they don't
happens.
interact with you. People don't turn around and look at you or go, thumbs
No.
up.
I mean, I went to the toilet 3 or 4 times during it, so I had lots of opportunities for eye contact then. I didn't even need the toilet, to tell you the truth, you know. So, like, but even then, people were pretty steadfastly ignorant of my presence up and down that bloody aisle with my hair all poking up. No,
And, how
monkeys.
does the DVD commentary work? Do you have to go, oh, I remember that day, actually, because it was quite funny, because I hurt my foot. Is it really boring?
It's
Do you
like-
feel
it's
like
exactly
you
that.
suddenly think, oh, God, I must sound really boring?
Yeah, I really try and spice it up with anecdotes and that. But, like, tell you the truth, when I'm with them as a group, like, I'd sort of sublimate my identity a little bit. Like, when it's all of them, I don't want to, you know, because I only really have 2 settings: silence and complete control. That's, you know, like, so if I'm not going to be in complete control of the dynamic, I'll just sit quietly in a chair and occasionally will tell an anecdote about having a bad foot. Done a couple of good jokes, but, you know, I like that anecdote last week about someone watching Apocalypto and we'd like say, oh, I enjoyed it. It was a nan, sort of, oh, I enjoyed Apocalypto, but bloody hell, Mel Gibson talking over the top of it,
That's my
ruins the film.
brother-in-law's parents.
Your brother-in-law's parents, was it?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson keeps piping up all the way through it. That's the director's commentary, you idiots! That's lovely. I think that there's a
very
film
funny.
with someone talking. I used that actually, but like,
Did you?
I didn't want to go. Yeah, it was difficult. I had to lie a little bit and go. Like, I was like, oh, someone I know, sort of thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? I just went. Oh,
What, in
I
the
think I know
stand-up?
them. No, in the director's commentary.
Oh,
I guess I
right.
don't agree with director's commentary because of this thing happened with Apocalypto, someone's nan, my mate's nan, I think I changed it to. I knew while I was saying it was sort of a lie, but I thought, I can't go, I do this radio show, we do this item called an anecdote, my mate Matt, his brother-in-law's parents. I mean, it's just too...
They just fade you down, wouldn't they?
They'd fade me down. Already it was a struggle to get them to pay attention. Macaulay Culkin was there because he goes out with Mila Kunis. He bought in coffees in one
I
bit.
love her. When I watch the film, she looks great.
She does look so beautiful. Yeah, like the first few times I didn't really get affected, but like about the third or fourth time watching it, I thought, God, she is really beautiful.
What are they like together? They've been going out for years, haven't they?
Like 5 or 6 years or something. Yeah, he's really nice, he isn't it? Makes because I do a little bit of stand-up about all that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So I'm a bit worried. He said after he was there at the premiere, and he goes, hey, if you want me to come on the radio show, I'd be really happy. And I went, oh, all right, mate. Sort of thinking, he's going to find out about that stand-up.
Yeah, but you don't it's not negative about him. It's just saying.
Hold on. Yeah, but what about the Michael Jackson bit, Matt? When I go, when you're around Macaulay Culkin, you want to go, come on, mate, be honest, tell us, right? You wouldn't say that directly to his face, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set it up with
him.
him. Go, I mentioned Michael Jackson, and then you'll probably pull that
Yeah, but
Home
what
Alone
if-
face.
Jim Jones. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, well, I don't know. We'll have to get out of that somehow. I don't know what we'll... No, I want him to come on. It'd be brilliant to have Macaulay Culkin. on
Yeah,
the show.
that'd be good.
Flight of the Conchords coming on as well, but they don't want to very much. But we might be able to get them to come on at some
We've
point.
got Sellotape queued up from them now.
Ah, cool. I love that song. Why don't we listen to Sellotape by Flight of the Conchords now? Later on, we've got our Jingle Race War. We've got an anecdote. We've got, I think Matt Morgan was going to tell me about my... what did you say? You saw my face on the side of a bus, Matthew?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
yes, I forgot we meant to set that joke up for you.
Here we go.
Russell,
Here comes a joke.
we saw your
Yes.
face on the side of a bus in London.
Ha! That's the only way you'll get me on the London bus. Ha 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 ha! Ha! Yeah! Joke! I done a joke. I am a joke doer for a job. Woohoo! Good old me. I deserve every goddamn penny. But I want to stress that Sony Award, even if we don't get it, the nomination is for all of us. It's not just
I
me.
thought of a variation.
Go on.
Oh, Russell, I saw your face on the tube.
Ah! That's the only way you'll get me down on the tube.
Woo!
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah! Wow, this is
Have you
brilliant.
never seen... So you haven't seen yourself on the side of a London bus?
No, I haven't, because, like, you know,
It's
I'm
quite
in
creepy
America.
for me, walking around London.
I'm watching you. Why aren't you writing a synopsis? If this film flops, Matthew, you better have something ready. Yeah.
We have to play this track because the news is coming up.
All right. Well, I
They're
just
all in
want to
different
say.
times.
Okay. Well, we'll say this, mate. Make sure you get some bloody work done. Aretha Franklin, what's it called? Knock on your door. That's what I'm going to do.
Until you come back to me.
Till you come back to me. I couldn't tell which
Knock
bit
on
of it
your
would be the
door?
title. Well, that's the bit I like best, is when it goes knock on your door. That's the bit I really focus for that bit. You should have seen me and Sharon doing the backing vocals for that just then. It was brilliant.
We
to
heard
behold.
you.
You don't put that on the radio, do you, when we do stuff like that?
No. I heard you in a little,
Oh, you
little
had to
box
listen.
that we get talk back from you from.
Did you enjoy our performance?
It was a little pushed, I'd say. a little too much effort going into it.
Well, some say that we were very relaxed and skillful. I've just heard Morrissey is on his way. He doesn't mind about the lift problems. He's
Whoa.
quite happy to
What floor
tolerate
is he on?
that. He's now on the second floor. Apparently, he's wheezing in a stairwell. That's Morrissey wheezing in a stairwell. That could be a Morrissey lyric, as a matter of fact. Here is a email off of Depeche Veria. She says, "Can you get your mum to review the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall?" Mum, review the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Don't take too long though, because I've got another email to read out.
It's really sweet and it's a lovely
Go a bit
love
closer to the
story.
mic. Go closer to the mic.
Stop bullying her.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, stop bullying me. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Barbara.
It's really sweet. It's a lovely love story and there's lots of sexy men in it besides Russell.
who? Sexy beside me.
That nice fella that was in Friends.
The nice fella, Paul Rudd, yeah, he's
Yeah.
nice. Who else?
Jason.
Jason, the star.
Yeah.
Wonder if he had a little kiss with anyone that I work with. Wonder if he did. Wonder if there was a little bit of an incident with a certain someone. Wonder if a certain someone transgressed professional boundaries. We'll talk about that later. Mr. Morgan. It wasn't Matt, incidentally. And what else,
Sounds
Mum?
intriguing.
Yeah.
I just think you should go and see it because it's really, really funny.
Well, even apart from me, Mum.
Russell's brilliant in it. He
Right.
steals the show.
There you go. There's an unbiased review of the film Getting Sarah Marshall. Other films are available if you want them. This is another email here from Caitlin, claiming to be from Boston. Hello, Russell, Matt and Mr. G. I just wanted to compliment Russell on his excellent performance on The Tonight Show, which I stayed up expressly to watch with some trepidation as the show pained me. Oh, don't say that.
I'll watch that.
Did you see me, mate? Did you see me?
YouTube, or
Go on.
MeTube or whatever. Yeah, you were good, actually.
I was all right,
You
wasn't
did
I?
your sort of creepy chat show persona.
That's not creepy. That's sexy chat show persona. What do you mean creepy? Where I'm all sort of a bit...
demure and like controlled.
Yeah,
know what I
but
mean.
Yeah, I go a bit more controlled and demure because people don't. You don't want to go on there all like this. People will freak out. Do
Yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
you
It's
relaxed more. You got into it and you sort of. But yeah, no, it was good.
I was very relaxed from the beginning. I was very happily and relaxed, but I just thought, just keep it cool, like a
Keep it
coiled
cool,
snake.
don't say anything weird.
Don't steady. Don't mention the tit milk. Oh no, I've mentioned the beloved tit milk. Anyway, this woman goes. You were hilarious. Nice work, says Caitlin. Thank you. Hello, Russell and Matt. It's Tasha from Sheffield. I've seen your face on the side of about 15 buses in Sheffield, and I want to know if you are watching me. He. Love from Tasha. No, I'm not watching you from those posters, but I'm very glad that you have seen them. In fact, the only way you're going to see me in Sheffield is on the side of a bus there. In fact, I like it. There's a bit of sellotape got stuck to my head with... the text, if you want to text us, well, now it's sellotaped to me, it's probably a message from God. 88291, or if you want to email us, it's russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Matt, should we have a humorous look at some world events and things?
Yes, please. Let's do that.
Right, it's now time for me and Matt's new item.
Is this a new
Humorous. Well, I don't know, it's
Never
just
heard
some
of it.
emails, really. I don't know if you can say it's an item. Right, this is something about tit milk. It's from someone called Katie. Hello, Russell, Matt and G, and everyone at the show. Have a look at this tit milk thing. Look at this. So there's a new cheese made from women's milk. Le Petit Singley is a farm that specialises in making cheese from women's breast milk. Admittedly, it must be a bizarre milking process, and it happens in France. I think the donors bring their milk to the farm or something like that. The cheese is produced exactly like it would be for cow's milk and tastes like it has hints of hazelnuts. If it was Matt's mum, of course, it would have vinegar, where she's desperate to unclamp her horrible firstborn son from her boob. The farm says the cheese is rich in vitamins and nutrients, but they don't survive after being ultra-pasteurised. Nice.
That
Okay.
must take age, like, you know, it's not like a cow, is it? Pints of it coming out.
Ooh, no, I suppose
Must
not. You
take
can't
so
get
many
pints
women.
of this stuff. Matt, do you think it would be unusual if I were to, right here, use our radio show as a forum, our Sony Award-nominated radio show, as a forum, say, for example, you're one of them women that I once met that's lactating, but you ain't got a baby, or you've split up with the partner of your baby and you're lactating.
No, I don't think
I'd like
is
to
the
meet
right
you.
forum. before you finish that.
Well, I just would like to meet anyone who fits in that, because I'm just very curious about the old tit milk. I think
Why?
about
It's
it.
disgusting. It's for babies. Leave it alone. It's not for you.
I'm a big baby!
Buy some of that cheese. They'll send you some.
Send us some of that lovely tit
Do
milk
you know what, though?
cheese.
That's just going to... How do they, like, keep the flavour the same? Because apparently if you like a woman eats onions, then it tastes of onions.
So you can, that's brilliant, isn't it? And you can have hint of onion tit milk, hint of anything if you want. Paprika tit milk, garlic tit milk, it'd be delicious. What about that? What a way to live.
I reckon you'll go all weird and Hollywood and there'll be one, you know, they'll talk
That'd be
about
one
it.
of my things.
When they do
Yeah.
the tours, they go, Russell Brand lives down there, of course famous for enjoying breast milk from his boob slaves.
He keeps a colony of boob slaves there on his estate. Yeah, that already sounds like a lot of fun, Matthew. I like that suggestion very much. Morrissey is on the 4th floor now. Apparently he's been sick on a banister. Here's this another letter. I'm a fan of your show, says, doesn't say her name anywhere on it. What a mysterious woman. She's from Sweden. Angela Roslar. She says, I'm a fan of your show in Sweden. I thought you might like to know what's going on in the news. Swedish ice cream trucks, a form of torture. Selling ice cream and candy with enticing melodies should be outlawed because it's connected to child obesity. The suggestion comes from Bo Sjoberg, a professor of the Sahlgrenska Academy in Gothenburg, who compares the repetition of ice cream trucks to the jingles of ice cream trucks with modern torture methods. Selling with enticing melodies results in poor health and serious problems for many people, writes the professor. Right, well, there you are.
That's ridiculous.
What, you don't think that that's true then, that ice cream melodies do?
No, I think... Oh, no, of course not.
You don't find the melody enticing? What about as a child?
Yeah, but of course it's not really enticing. It's just, oh right, there's an ice cream van there. It's like it tells you it's there. It doesn't make you go, oh, ice cream. Music doesn't tell you to like ice cream.
Have ice cream.
Must get fatter.
Tit milk ice cream, I'll take it. Yeah, you're right. But I suppose you wouldn't have an ice cream jingle that was a terrifying screeches of a raven, because it would be horrible, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe.
Like, say it was like the Carl Orff's music.
Yeah, but in time, the kids would associate that with ice cream.
Whippy. They might. I'd like a flake, I'd like a flake, and an oyster, please. Yeah, all right. In time, you'd come to... Do you think so, Matt, that after a while, even like if it was negative sounds of perhaps a child screaming, in the end you'd go, delicious ice cream.
Pavlovian.
Pavlov proved it. Pavlov proved it with his dogs. He proved that you can make dogs do literally anything you like. I believe that was the nature of those experiments. So this is from Claudia Girders. She sent us a letter. Hello, and to all of you listening. A New Zealand woman who sent a naked man to the wrong house on the promise of a good time has been charged with misusing a telephone. Local media reported on Wednesday. The 17-year-old woman... That's not a woman, 17. That's a child.
That makes me feel old when they say, an 18-year-old man... And I think, what?
He's not a man, 18-year-old man. You get out of here, Sonny Jim. Go and clean my windows. It's Bob a job week. They're too little, aren't they, to be proper men? Especially over here, where the laws are all different. You've got to be so careful.
Well, what have you been trying to do?
Just trying to bob a job. I might give them some unusual jobs for their bobs. If you really want this, Bob, you got to do the job. And you're also called Bob. Hey, Bob, if you want your Bob, do your job. So, Bob a job. Bob a job. Bob a job. I ain't doing a job for a Bob. If you want me to do a job, 5 bloody p, innit?
No.
For a job.
That's a shilling.
Mum? Same. A bob. 5 bob, that is. Gives you a bob. A bob. I'm not doing that for a bob. Cattle of Bob. He must have a cattle of Bob, mustn't he? You've seen his new cartoon. I'm a Bob. I'm not doing no jobs for a Bob. It costs a lot of money to get me to do a bloody job, even if that job's a nice job that I would have done for free. I still want more than a Bob. The 17-year-old woman sent the man an enticing text message offering him an early Christmas present in the shape of 2 friendly women and suggested to take his clothes off to save time. How long does it take, unless you're me? The 31-year-old man wasted no time in arriving at the house and took off his clothes and threw them through the window before entering. What? I like that move. I'm here! Perhaps you might like some sandals. Well, an eccentric
It's a very
way.
peculiar way to enter a building, isn't it?
Yeah, clothes first. That's what we do.
Oh, here it is. No, these are just clothes. Then he comes through naked.
Hi! Remember those trousers? Well, here I am. That's a ridiculous way to enter anything. The 31-year-old man, blah, blah, blah. The householder did not see the funny side. The police were called and the man was arrested for being unlawfully on a property. The woman who sent the tempting but deliberately wayward message was also tracked down and charged for misusing a phone. Thank you very much for that, Claudia from the Netherlands. Misusing a phone, that's good. That's a crime.
Strange law, isn't it? Misusing
a phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
because
very
she
difficult
didn't,
to
because she
legislate.
used it to make a phone call or a text or whatever.
Yeah,
that's not
that's
misusing it.
Completely. That's completely within the remit of what a phone is for. If you use the phone to smash someone over the head, that's misuse of a phone. I think what she done was use the phone conventionally, if anything.
Yeah.
So, that's a terrible law. Matthew,
Yes?
you're doing a lot of gym exercises, are you?
No, I've completely given up on all that.
No, why?
Well, I'm still doing a bit of the old martial arts, but I hurt my shoulder and I can't bother to go to the gym. It's very hard to stay at it, isn't it?
Yeah. Why?
Once you stop going for 3 days and then it becomes a
That's
week.
it.
And then
It becomes difficult. I've started going out with my yoga teacher, of course. That's caused complications.
What do you mean going out with?
I mean,
Really?
downward dog, upward dog. Don't mind if I do, dear. That's what I mean. You know.
What, you've got an official girlfriend?
Oh no, not a girlfriend. You know, I just meant sex, but I didn't want to make it sound cheap.
Is she still your yoga teacher, or is that just a sham now that you're dating her?
Little bit of a sham, because like once you're there doing all that bending over and sweating, you think, well, do you know what? I've got a better idea. And what's that? Watch the telly. Not really.
You did well to pull her, because I've seen your yoga outfit and it's
Hey,
frankly ludicrous.
Steady. I look set. A lot of people think I look nice in my yoga
In
costume.
culottes and a bra. With your hair up in a bun.
Those culottes are very flattering on my hips, if you don't mind, Mr. Morgan. Well, listen to this. It's a news story. Muscle-touching ban overturned. A 46-year-old Liverpool man who was banned from feeling people's muscles has had the decision overturned. Akinwal Akabi, or Arabiki, Akawal Arabiki of Devonshire Road, Toxteth. That's a lot of information to say the exact bloody road he lives on. Was given the order last October, but judges at Liverpool Crown Court have since branded it draconian. Police applied for the order when Mr. Arabiki was let out of being jailed for 6 years in 2003 on 15 counts of harassment. The charges related to him asking young people if he could touch their muscles.
I've heard about this. He's called Purple Aki.
Purple Aki?
Yeah.
Why purple? He always wears purple.
I can't remember why. Yeah, maybe.
Can you imagine another reason why he's called Purple Aki? Because I've just imagined it now.
What? That he's an Oompa Loompa?
No, because the tip of his private place. That's why it's called purple. It's peeping out over the top of his jogging bottoms.
Well, that's not exactly rare, is it? That's the normal colour. Why would they name him after that?
Well, because you don't normally see it in a popping out of tracksuit bottoms. Hello, Purple Aki's on his way. Can I feel your muscles? Do you want to feel mine, mate? Listen to this. Listen to this. The charges related to him asking young people if he could touch their muscles. He also requested to measure them and ask them to perform squats. Do you want to do some squats, mate?
Was he a PE teacher?
No, he's just a bloke.
He just did this in the street.
He did it in the street, anywhere he could. Mr. Arabiki successfully appealed against the order, with prosecution lawyers unable to prove his behaviour was sexually motivated or had caused serious psychological harm to his victims. That was sexually motivated.
But if he only asks it, if he goes, show us your muscles.
Let's measure them. Do you want me to measure your muscles?
Do some squats.
I think that's sexy, to tell you the truth. Oh, he is known as Purple Aki. It says it later on. Look, he was banned from St Helens.
Maybe I'm a victim of him.
Maybe
thought about that.
I've started.
So I stopped going to the gym.
You've been driven out of that gym by him wanting to measure your muscles all day. Under the terms, Mr. Arabiki was not allowed to approach or do voluntary work with any young person under 18. He's banned from St Helens, Warrington or Widnes without permission of either the Chief Constable of Merseyside or the Chief Constable of Cheshire. That's annoying. He could also not loiter near educational establishments, gyms or sports clubs. Judge Bruce Macmillan of Liverpool Crown Court said, no evidence has been put before us to prove that such draconian measures are necessary to protect the public from serious sexual harm. Ooh, sexual harm. I don't think I'd like some sexual harm.
No way.
A legal technicality means a second order of a similar nature against Mr. Arabiki, who is known locally as Purple Aki, is still in force. However, it's expected to be lifted. Sharon Smith goes, we've got a young lad who works on this film, like he's sort of like a runner character, you know, driving us about on a little golf buggy, one of which I nearly fell off of once. That's bloody embarrassing, because they start off quite aggressively, a golf buggy. I don't know if you've ever been on one, have you? Have you been on...
Yeah, I think I have, actually. I think I've been on one with you.
We've been on a golf
buggy. A hotel in Ireland.
Yeah, we've been on a golf buggy. We were asked to get off it. Of course we weren't meant to be on that golf buggy. We don't even know how to do golf. Well, I was on a golf buggy and it started off aggressively. I nearly fell off the back of it. What are you looking at? Sharon Smith's loomed back in here.
It was well funny. He went to a proper little girl mode. He was on the back of a golf cart, right? And it went to pull away about like 3 millimetres an hour.
It was going very fast.
It was going really, really slow.
Dangerous.
But as it took off, he literally threw his arms around my neck and his legs and everything. It was so exaggerated. It was so funny.
Pathetic.
I was laughing about it for about an hour.
Actually,
I bet you've added stunts to your Hollywood CV.
I'm quite a good stunt man, like Neil Majors. Would you need anyone to nearly fall off the back of a golf cart? Because I'm prepared to do it if you like. And then also, Sharon Smith's been sexually harassing Travis, the runner on the show, forever feeling his muscles, measuring him up, haven't you?
You touch his muscles as well.
You're like Purple Aki.
What's going on out there?
I touch his muscles so that Sharon can touch his muscles. I don't do it for out of any pleasure. He's like a good-looking lad from New Jersey. He's sort of got dark hair, sort of dancing, twinkling eyes, big, muscly sort of shoulders and chest.
He's gorgeous. Sharon's
forever sort of like touching him, trying to get him. Sharon reckons she can tell what his willy's like just by looking at his face, and she thinks it's probably nice.
She said that to me before about people. But I believe her, actually, because, you know...
Yeah, I know, we've got similar abilities, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, I wonder what his Willy's like, Matthew. Oh, has he got a hat, with or without, would you say? Oh no, that's a Purple Aki. I'd know him anywhere. So Sharon has been, I only touch his muscles to you know, so to open a gateway for you to touch his muscles, Sharon.
Oh, you look like you're quite enjoying it, though.
You've got nice muscles.
What muscles? What, his biceps, you mean?
Well, he's just really fit. He's got like beautiful,
Penis.
beautiful coloured skin. He's just got really big, muscly arms. He's lovely. So when he drives us in the car and we always fight over each other, we just sit next to him in the front.
Russell.
Just stroke
I
him
want to
the
sit in the
whole
front because you fall off the back. It's dangerous when it pulls away. I'm not there to touch his
Bet
muscles.
you're holding his arm like it's your wedding day with him.
Promise me it'll always be like this, Travis. Promise me
Just got to ditch Sharon. Go really fast and then stop and she'll fall off.
I've been there myself once. It's almost like you were doing it deliberately, Travis. But I know you'd never ruin our marriage vows. Till death do us part,
Why are you
Travis.
going around on a golf buggy in Los Angeles? You must be laughing. The laughing stock.
I
got
am,
like-
I am.
These massive trucks.
To the buggy! To the buggy-mobile! And just on the film set, it's almost like this whole culture is designed so you never take a single footstep. Like, you know, no one wants you walking anywhere. It's the way they are. It's a
Strange,
bit weird.
isn't it? And
Yeah,
you've got
sometimes we
Morrissey
just walk.
tramping up 15 flights of stairs.
We're dragging him up them stairs on a golf cart. He's just sat there. He's bumping its way up the stairs. I think Morrissey may actually have arrived now because everyone has been evacuated from the studio. I think Sharon Smith's about to leave. Why don't we play a record to smooth the transition to what I think will become an interview with Morrissey?
Do you want to play that New York Dolls song that you wanted for him?
Oh, yeah, all right, let's play it. Is Morrissey here? Is he in the building, do we know? No one's seen Morrissey. Well, no, why don't we play one of yours, Matt, and then we'll play that Morrissey one for him when he gets here. What are you going to play, mate?
Well, we've got I Want You
No.
Back by the Jackson 5. Do you think
What,
that's
is
too
that 'cause you
upbeat?
missed
Do you think
me?
it might annoy him?
No, he'll
No,
like
it's
that.
purely random. It just came into the machine.
Liar, it's because you want me back. It's because you miss me. You've seen me on the side of all those buses. It's got you going, hasn't
Well,
it?
maybe a little.
You can't go to the gym, you can't relax, you can't focus without old Russ.
You'll be
You
back
miss
soon,
him.
won't you? You're coming back here.
Popping back to do Jonathan Ross next week, and then then I'll become that's it though. So why don't you get over here? You'll have a nice time. All right. Well, that's in. I know that last song, that Aretha Franklin song, that was for Sharon Smith, Sharon Smith, the adulteress. Now, what we'll do now is play a nice little song. I Want You Back. This is Matt Morgan going out to. You're dedicating this to me, are you, Matt?
Yes, completely.
Thank you.
Every single lyric.
Every bar, every lyric. I
And
want
all
you
the
back.
little dance moves they did.
When I had you to
everything.
myself, I didn't want you around. You did want me around. Those little faces always made you stand out in the crowd. Oh, you do love my little faces. Someone picked me from the bunch. One glance was all it took. It took many glances. Now it's much too late for me to take a second look. You can take as many looks as you like, Matthew. All right, well, this is the old Jackson 5 with their record. Have you seen that EastEnders trailer with Bianca doing this? Because I saw it on the internet when I was watching
it's
The Apprentice.
awful, isn't it?
What's that for? Is that right?
Is she
Is that
meant
what's
to be
happening now?
Is she in character singing that bad?
She's in.
Or is she trying her best, do you think?
I can't tell. I wish we could get to the bottom of that. I saw it on
can.
the internet. Can we? Can we ever know?
she's a person.
When
We could
I
get her
had
phone
you to
number.
myself. Yeah, we could talk to her. I do really like Patsy Palmer. I think she's brilliant. But that's offbeat, isn't it? That
It's
trailer.
bad, isn't it? But maybe they've said, well, this is how she'd do it.
Also, do you think they've decided that they're 4 children simply so they can say the Jackson 5? Do you mean that just to facilitate that trailer and that joke when they're
know.
going, how many children should we give Bianca when she comes back to EastEnders?
Right.
It's a bit bonkers. Matthew,
Yeah.
what were you getting sidetracked by?
I
You doing
forgot
one of
she
your
was called
doodles?
Bianca Jackson, and I hadn't got that.
Oh, so you were confused all
Just-
that time.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, she's called Bianca Jackson.
I have done some
Right.
doodles, yes.
What have you done this week, Doodles? My little doodle
Well,
bag.
I'll talk you through clockwise. We've got a little sort of miserable soldier man. Then a
That's
sort of
interesting.
Turkish lampshade thing. There's a
Lovely.
raft here. There's a tomato with hellish hair and a cup on a string and a finger with a ring going sort of through it and blood coming out.
God, you miss me.
I'm going
you miss
now.
me bad. I've never heard anything
I
like
want
it.
you
It's like a love letter. Morrissey might very well be in this building now, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to engineer getting him in the bloody room, to tell you the truth. Perhaps someone will just usher him in. Perhaps the next face I see will be the face of Jen Ivory, Morrissey's long-time associate. Morrissey is now in the room. Morrissey, will you be comfortable in that chair, dear?
I don't know. I'll try and be comfortable.
Morrissey, this is Peter. He's an Englishman.
Hello, Peter.
This is, of course, Morrissey. And this is lovely Jen. Jen, you have a copy of my bookie book there, I notice. Well, he wants me to sign it. Right, OK. Well,
I'd like you to sign it.
I'll do whatever you like,
I
Mister.
would never say want. I would say I would like you to sign.
Why would you not use want? It's a bit of an aggressive word.
I'm not pushy. I'm not pushy.
Come close to the microphone if you don't mind, Morrissey. Far be it from me to instruct you to do anything. You're listening to BBC Radio 2. This is Russell Brand. We are live. I'm in studio now in Los Angeles with Morrissey. I'm about to interview Morrissey. Long-time listeners of the show will know that Morrissey is a very great hero of mine who I deeply adore. Don't wish to embarrass you or anything, Morrissey.
I'm extremely embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed.
No, I won't be.
We've cleared everyone out of the room. It's just people because, like, you met my mum last night. Did you like her?
I met your mum last night and the week before. I mean, the last few times I've seen you, your mother has been with you.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
It doesn't make me seem unusual.
I think with or without your mother, you're reasonably unusual.
Yes. It's difficult to paper over the cracks.
But you boast about that, don't you?
I've made it quite clear that I'm happy to be an unusual man.
It cannot be hidden, I don't think.
It's a difficult thing to mask, Morrissey, in a situation like that. Now, I've written some notes to help me interview you, so that the interview is professional.
Why do you need notes?
Well, because in case, you know, like, where I'm enamoured of you, I might perhaps, I might get sidetracked. Not in a saucy way, but I might get flustered or something.
I don't think so.
Nor do I. I'm quite composed sort of a gentleman. Now these notes you can see I've written down on the toilet seat covers that you sometimes are administered
Yes.
in a public lavatory.
Yes.
I thought you might think that was rather charming.
Very fetching. Very you.
Yes, I've done that. Now I've got several things to interview you about. Thank you very much for coming. Right, Eldon, I suppose I'll just get the things that are about me out of the way just to get things settled.
Well, you usually do.
Yes. What do you think of me doing stand-up? Did you like it?
Well, I really enjoyed it, but there's two things I must tell you about yourself.
Go on.
From the back of the auditorium where I was yesterday,
Yes.
you look as if you're permanently on horseback.
What do you mean, bow-legged?
No. You just look as if you're on horseback. When you cannot see your legs, it looks as if you're riding a horse.
Well, does that...
The second thing is you look very Regency.
Regency, you say?
Yes.
So, hold on, both of those observations sound to me like I look rather elegant.
Very elegant, yes. That was the third point that I wasn't going to mention.
The elegance.
Yes.
A Regency gentleman perpetually on the back of an horse, looking all elegant. What a show.
But you've had an incredible few weeks in this town.
It's been all right, hasn't it?
And you've exploded.
Yeah.
Yes.
As well. I've got on, not in that way. My friend Matt Morgan is also on the wireless with us. You will only be able to hear him if you put on headphones, Morrissey, which I frankly wouldn't recommend doing. He won't make any worthwhile contributions.
Well, then I won't do that then. But does this mean for you it's goodbye to Sidcup?
Yeah. Why do you think I sounded like I phoned up Morrissey the other day and spoke to him. He'd just awoken at it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, which makes you sound a bit lazy.
Yes.
And you said that I sound like I'm from Sidcup on the phone.
Yes, exactly.
Why?
I mean, can it be denied?
I think
See?
Peter, you're just going along with Morrissey because of his charisma. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
If I may ask a question, I mean,
Please.
now that you're exploding in this country, I mean, Jay Leno was fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, be proud, walk tall.
I shall.
Jay Leno was fantastic, and does this mean goodbye to Sidcup, goodbye to England? You're going to get a house with your mother here, is that correct?
Mummy and I have always hoped to settle down together. I'll be clutching to her apron strings, perhaps only to undo them, though.
That's her burden, I think.
Yeah, she's going to be bearing that burden lifelong. I've never truly left the womb, to be honest with you, Morrissey. Yeah. Oh, wait, last week we played Showdown by New York Dolls for you, but you can't work Listen Again facility.
Well, I'm a bit computer illiterate. I couldn't quite get it. I tried.
What's interesting, I find, right, is like for me, I've compartmentalised. There's you who I grew up with through the music of the Smiths and your later solo work. Then there's you, a person that I email, who is an acerbic man, sometimes quite rude. Then there's you, who I meet up with, who you have the demeanour of a member of a European royal family. Like yesterday after the show, when you came backstage to see us, sort of like that's why I couldn't shake that woman's hand, even though I'd been doing stand-up about social awkwardness, because like Morrissey introduced me to his friend Sarah, and he went, Russell, this is Sarah, like that, and I just went, all right, just stood there, and he went, this is Sarah, and had to push me towards her from my spine and lifted out my arm to shake hands like I was a flesh puppet.
Well, sometimes, you know, there's certain situations where I think you do need a slight push.
I often need a bit of a shove in the right direction.
Well, I think you get that.
Now, on the off chance that there's actual people, genuine fans of you, listening to this show thinking, oh, he's not doing a proper interview. Now here is what might be described as a proper interview coming up right now. This is the Russell Brand Show. You're listening to Radio 2. Here's a proper interview with Morrissey. Morrissey, what's Brighton? Why are you so obsessed with Brighton Rock? And how come it's in, like, Now My Heart Is Full? What's the connection? I don't get it. I don't understand why you've got the names of the people out of the film Brighton Rock,
Russell,
Graham Greene novel.
I explained this to you last night in the pub.
You didn't?
I
went,
did.
Oh,
and I explained it to your mother as well.
You did it with a hand gesture. And then when I
that is explanation enough, really.
You went, I go, so why is it? Why are the names of Pinky, Cupid? Why are those names in Now My Heart Is Full? You went, oh, it's gang mentality.
But I mentioned the people in the film and you didn't know anything about them. Then I mentioned the railway children and your eyes just lit up with desire and Jenny Agutter and blah, 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 blah. So I think with Brighton Rock you should leave it alone.
Well, all right, I'm going to surprise you, Morrissey. I happen to know that the character of Pinky, played by Richard Attenborough in the film Brighton Rock, was based on a real gangster around Clerkenwell, some 17-year-old Italian lad. Did you know about that?
No.
There you are, then. So aren't I clever?
How do we know that's true, though?
Because my mate John Rogers told me, and
there you go. Then.
He's never given me a bum steer.
Jennifer, can we argue with Mr. Rogers?
I should.
No, I know we can.
You can't query his word. John Rogers resigned. He resigned from his job at the National Film Theatre.
He resigned from his job?
Resigned. Perhaps that was my nerves. He resigned from his job at the National Film Theatre, where he was an usher, and in his resignation email, he wrote as the subject heading, "Frankly, Mr. Shankly." Isn't that charming?
Oh, that's... I might burst out crying.
Yeah?
Do you mind?
Oh, go on, have a little weep, why don't you? That'll be nice. Continuing with our actual interview, what are your favourite Smiths and Morrissey songs? That's what they say in an interview, Matthew. I've heard an interview before.
It's terrible.
Well, you giggle.
good.
You giggle, but you're actually interested in the reply, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, actually.
Yes. I like most of them. There's only about 5 or 6 that I really don't like.
What, like Oscillate Wildly?
No, I love that.
What don't you like?
I'd rather not say. I mean, why dwell upon this? Snags.
Yeah. Let's not dwell on the snags. There's so much positive stuff to behold. What's the point in hanging around on a snag? I spend too much of my time on snags.
Well, I saw you last night.
Yeah.
Fading into the distance, and I thought, there must be a snag around.
When that snag came over and kissed me and gave me her phone number, you were appalled, weren't you?
I was absolutely appalled.
Why was that?
Because I thought, not because you were being antisocial, and here we were around this lovely table having wonderful conversation, but your eyes were everywhere but.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it?
No.
It's funny that I'm there with Morrissey and I'm just thinking, come on, I've got a poor bird, I'm bored.
Well, I thought we were going to have some fantastic debates about love, life and beyond.
Well, we were going to,
and
but...
there you are, just looking for anything, you know, anything that was remotely alive. Anything that was flapping about on the floor. And then you disappeared and I thought, well...
Hold on.
The younger generation.
You're difficult to talk to because, like, you said, like, I asked you that question about Brian Rock. Someone's bought Morrissey a beer. Like, we went right. I was asking you about Brian Rock, and you go, "Oh, did you know of the sitcom Man About the House with Richard O'Sullivan?" Like, "Oh yeah, vaguely. I'm not really old enough to remember." Oh, and then you seem all furious, like if someone doesn't remember Man About the House, and then ask about obscure actresses, and then tell my mum some cock and bull story about a club called the Ilford Island on the middle of a roundabout that she don't seem to have heard of, even though she's from there.
She was born in Ilford.
I know she's born in Ilford.
And she doesn't know Ilford Island.
I don't think there is an Ilford Island.
Which is the most famous building in Ilford.
Well, Jen looks confused. Peter, have you heard of the Ilford Island?
No.
Right, no one's heard of it, you're lying. Why are you doing it? What's wrong?
It isn't a lie. I mean, you know, I have played there, I have stood on the stage and I have sang.
I think you'd probably...
Off-key.
Do you look out of the window on the way there? Because perhaps people just go, oh, you're in Ilford now, Morrissey.
No.
You might very well be in your own garden.
I'm very, very shocked, Russell. I really am.
Okay.
I mean, this wouldn't happen with Joe Brand.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
Joe Brand, who I informed you, there's someone in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous who still thinks Joe Brand is my mum, and I simply cannot tell them that Joe Brand is... Oh, how's your mother, Joe? Is she all right? Yeah, she's doing really well. Yes, it's brilliant. Because I can't... It's gone too far now for me to ever go, you know, look, Joe Brand ain't my mum. You know, I've just got to live with it. Accept it. Come on, answer that question about it. Like, you know, do your own Desert Island Discs. Favourite Smiths and Morrissey songs.
Oh, I thought I'd answer that question. I like most of them.
Most of them.
That's
not very good for a fan.
There's a great deal of them. I mean,
yeah.
You don't want me to list them all, sure.
No, just list a couple ones like that come to mind. Like sort of like here's one. When I was a heroin addict, one that I used to like to.
See, you know, he asks a question. I don't get the chance to reply, and it's back to my story worry.
Because because when I used to listen to quite a lot of your music, what I particularly used to listen to Please Let Me Get What I Want. I used to like to listen to that and pretend it was about my feelings.
Could you repeat that, please?
Oh, don't make me say the titles correctly. I'm not I was on heroin.
Just thank God this isn't live radio.
It is! This is all going out there to the nation.
That was my joke.
I know, very good. I liked it. Even though I'm the professional comedian in the room, there's little doubt.
But the thing is, you are a comedian, aren't you?
That's my job.
But on your passport it says...
Comedian.
Comedian.
I have misspelt it, though.
Misspelled it?
Yeah, misspelled it. What? Bloody hell. You're the bloody grammatical Nazi.
Well, you said I was European royalty.
Yeah, that's how it is. People seem like around you. That's why I was struggling to shake that woman's hand.
So on your passport you do have comedian?
Comedian, yeah.
Comedian.
Yeah, it says comedian.
Yes.
I was a bit younger when I had to write it. I wasn't focused properly. So it's a bit difficult.
So what's it really like to be a comedian?
It's nerve-wracking, puts you under a lot of pressure to be funny all the time, and just looking constantly for self-esteem externally. You know, if people weren't laughing, you think, oh, God, what's the point?
What you feel as if you've disappeared or you've diminished and so forth. That's terrible.
It's ever so difficult.
But I didn't think you were like that. I think that is very old school. That is very 60s, and I didn't think you were like that.
What, Frankie Howard, Peter Cook style?
Yeah.
I'm very much
I have to crack a joke, otherwise people think I'm chronically depressed. But you're not like that.
I am. Ever so interesting and melancholy. Oh, bloody hell.
Do you ever curl up on the divan and sit by a blaring gas fire and say, why am I alive?
Yeah, I'm there on the old divan.
Well, let's get back to Brighton right there.
I've tried quizzing you about that, and you're not forthcoming. So
well, I told you in the pub last night, Russell, that I was very slippery.
You are a slippery character.
It never fails. It's already worked 3 times in this interview.
Yeah, you're evasive. What are you so bleeding evasive for?
It's a gift.
I read these interviews that you've been doing throughout your life, a book of compilations. Right little show-off you were when the Smiths first came out.
Oh, and you're not? You're not standing there like, you know, Mahatma Gandhi?
I'm dressed in one of my smocks, you might like to know, Matthew. I look like a sort of a thin, expectant mother. I look delightful. Now, moving on to another question.
But none of them have been answered.
I know!
So why bother?
Why are you so into boxers for? What's the thing with boxers and all that?
I think we should just talk about Sidcup and Ilford Island.
Look at that, evasive.
Stick with what you know. Stick with what you know.
I've never been to Sidcup, and there isn't an Ilford Island.
You've had a powerful few weeks in this country.
Yeah.
You're going to take it over. I mean, that's inevitable. Thankfully, you know, we all thank the Lord. But treat the imposters' fame and the other with the same blah blah etc.
Yeah, treat those two imposters with that Rudyard Kipling thing.
He said that. Yeah.
If XYZ, Bob's your uncle. That poem. Yeah, no, it's a cracker.
Well, how come you're so well read?
I'm not actually that well read. I've got a very good mind for retaining the significant facts from...
Yes, you have.
So like Deschamps, I know what's the important thing to know about Deschamps. I know what's important about post-structuralism, but I've never read any.
But in order to retain all this, you have to have a very ordered mind.
Yeah.
But do you have an ordered mind, or can you just retain and everything just flops out when you do your stand-up?
It just flops out. I don't like to think of it flopping out listlessly. Then it darts out like a jet of beautiful sperm, a ribbon of it flying out of me. How about that image?
Russell, I've got to shock you. But some people, some of our minds, they don't always work that way.
Really?
They don't go in that direction.
No?
No.
Why, how's yours working?
Well, in other directions.
What is it, like a load of old clock parts?
Yes.
Bits of old straw?
Yes, just ticking nicely, softly, soothingly. And that's why you've asked me here today.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you here.
Jennifer, am I wrong?
Don't involve Jennifer in the interview. She's there all relaxed and nice, lovely woman. How do you feel about me, Williams and Jonathan Ross had to go on stage at your bloody gig because of your sore throat and were bottled off the stage? Does that give you any great pleasure?
Well, you're angry because what?
Well, I felt hurt.
But you bounded on. You bounded on like somebody from, Regency days on horseback. You bounded on.
I was like a Regency cavalier when I bounded onto that stage. You're quite right. I think I took it as a punishment from God for being vain that happened.
Yeah, but you made a critical mistake.
What was it?
You assume that all audiences are the same. And, you can master one audience, you can master the rest. Anybody's, but you can't really.
No, I can't.
And
there's only one audience I can master. Ones that have come particularly to see me, it seems.
But my dear friends in the seats are often very aggressive.
Aren't they? Yeah. Doing that. What do you think about that Morrissey chant? Morrissey, Morrissey, Morrissey. Like that?
It's existed for 20-odd years.
Has it?
Yeah.
It's not going away then?
No.
Do you like it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, why? Because that's still because that skinheads in nail varnish
Well,
thing?
not really. No, it's just nice. I mean, people chant your name, you like it.
I do like it.
Yes, you like that kind of thing. You're
When
friendly.
they're chanting my name, they're normally on the precipice of orgasm, not standing in a crowd. There's at most 3 or 4 of them.
Well, so you tell us.
Stop it! I'm not impotent, I'm a fierce lover. Right, hold on, I've got some more questions for Morrissey. Oh yeah, no, go on, you've slipped out of that one and all. What about me, poor Jonathan Ross? Because like we all banded out, it's really funny. Williams got hit on the finger with a bottle top.
Did he really?
He went down like Lee Harvey Oswald had a pop at him.
Well, something must have made you jump up there. What was it? Love? Was it the endless quest for fame, or was it just self-absorption?
But all those options are bad. I didn't give you any good options.
Well, you nodded to each one.
I did. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, fame. Yeah, self-absorption. Yeah. Well, no, there was a little bit was love. I was thinking, Morrissey.
I see. The little bit was love.
Yeah, hold on. I'm being honest. I'm really honest. Not like you slippery, evasive character. Right.
I'm your guest.
Yes, I know. Welcome, welcome. Have more beer. All right. So what I've done.
The chair could have been softer.
I'm sorry about that. We'll get you a cushion. You look like you're in lovely nick. I've seen the photograph in the latest album. I thought you'd be able to tolerate any amount of fabric. Now, come on. So what I thought was, like, Morrissey's got a sore throat. We'll do something to it. Williams goes, Russell, you should go up there and do stand-up. I goes, I ain't going up there on my own. I'll go, but I'll go if you go. Then we asked Jen, who was sat behind, I go, Jen, should we go on the stage, do the announcement? Jen's eyes lit up as she realised she'd found a couple of mugs to take a bullet. and then sort of he goes to Jonathan, he sat down, oh yeah, Jonathan, we're going up on this stage. Do you want to come? He goes, oh yeah, all right. So then we sort of all got together, and as we was walking down the corridor, we were planning it like it was going to be the Rat Pack. We go, David goes, okay, I'll open something, then you do your bit, Russell, then Jonathan will close. We know that when it gets to Jonathan that we're going to close it. Then we got onto the stage. Even what hurt me most, I think, Morrissey, was that even before we made the announcement that you weren't coming back on stage because you had a sore throat, the bottles had begun to descend. Just by that, it wasn't like, because I could then go, this is just because we're the bearers of bad tidings, but it wasn't that. It was our existence was the problem.
But you're laughing now, so something about it must have amused you or flattered you.
I was not flattered. I was deeply, deeply hurt.
Well, I said amused or flattered.
Amused.
Yes.
I'll go for amused. And what it was that amused me is that my hubris was punished in that fashion. That's what was amusing about it. Because and you've got to smile about things, and choose what's the other option.
Well, if you can, but the point is that every audience is not the same.
No, I know that now.
And just because you're a whiz on opportunity knocks and things like that, it doesn't mean that you can conquer.
No, your crowd, certainly not. It's really funny, right, because we came off all bruised and shaken and that, and David Williams nursing his finger from the bottle top, then them lot went off home, right, and I thought, I'm not going, they go, we'll go back to David's, and I didn't want to be around them, like, because there'd been a terrible event.
What happened to the questions about me?
Oi, because you don't answer them, it's pointless. I might as well talk, right? And then, so them lot, they went off, and then I got a text from David Baddiel, who's already there. He said, be careful when you leave, because Jonathan and David Williams were attacked outside the gig. Even outside of the context of, they weren't even giving bad information anymore. They were just 2 men going home. Oh, it's them people still. They were furious.
It's a jungle.
It's a jungle. Sometimes I wonder how I keep from going under.
Well, as you said last night, very, very well.
Funny, isn't it?
So, on stage last night, you were very, very, very funny.
Yeah? Thank you.
And I don't really find many people funny.
Go on, who do you think's funny?
Well, Alan Carr is very funny.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's very good,
Yes,
Alan Carr.
very funny.
Yeah.
And I think Joe Brand is very funny.
You really like Joe Brand. You're always on about her.
Your mother.
That's right. Yes,
and,
she's very well.
Yes, and I find other people funny too, but not too many.
Right.
Not too many.
Yeah.
And many people who think they're funny, I don't think they're very funny.
Really? Yeah, that's not a good quality, going around thinking you're funny.
Not really.
No, it's no way to live your life. Morrissey, can I be in your video?
No.
You said I could. I was supposed to be in the video. We were ready to come, then we couldn't come at the last minute.
No, you said there was going to be no confrontational questions.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Sorry, I've
You said it was going to be really, really nice.
It has been nice. Just sat there having your beer, not answering any questions, basically doing whatever you wish.
Well, this is how I live my life.
I know, I've seen it. I've never seen such insouciance.
Insouciance?
Yeah.
So you're going to do your stand-up again tonight?
Yeah, doing it tonight.
And
Coming.
my dear friend Chris is going to be in the audience, whom you know.
Oh? Oh, Chrissy Hines coming.
Yes.
Oh, she was great when she come on this show, wasn't she? But she come on this show. It's a bloody car crash. We did karaoke with her, which perhaps was stupid. We did Brass in Pocket or something. I can't remember what it was. It was a bloody. We did Islands in the Stream. Not easy to do Islands in the Stream as a duet with a professional singer of the quality of Chrissy Hines.
Yes.
I fared badly, and then I ended up because I created an embarrassing dynamic, right? And I went out of her daughter for a little while, right? And
What happens with the questions about me?
look, you keep evading them, right? So what I've done.
I think there's a certain degree of self-obsession. It really is.
Have you noticed it?
Yes, I've noticed.
Yeah.
I noticed last night in the audience, last night in the pub, last week in the audience.
What else am I going to get obsessed with? A garage, NASA. There's nothing else to get obsessed with except the self. Everything comes through the prism of the self anyway. I see myself as a metaphor for the universe.
Where is your mother today?
She's out there because we cleared everyone out of the studio in case you were bothered by him. Can we get her back in because she's going to ask you a question? Can we get my mum in?
Oh, yes, please.
Mum, come in here and do your question. She's listening in the next room, huddled like a refugee.
But the question is obviously about you, really.
Well, I bloody hope so. We drilled her well enough before. Make sure this question relates to me.
Does she not find your stand-up disgustingly vulgar?
You can ask her that question in a minute. Where's my mum? Mum!
He's so Sidcup.
I'm not sick.
Unbelievable.
Where's my mother?
Listening on the internet. It's a 2-minute delay.
Oh, it's a 2-minute delay. Can you pop round and get her then? Look, I'm not going to prepare to wait 2 minutes. I'm not that sort of a gentleman. Oh, there she is. Thank heaven. Oh, look at my little mum, all nervous, ringing around. Hello. Oh, look, my mum and Morrissey just having a little cuddle.
Sorry,
Right.
I didn't rise.
You can't rise in this situation, Morrissey. She's my mother. Now, Mum, you ask Morrissey a question.
You might think this is a bit boring.
Don't put your question down.
That's a terrible way to begin a question.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Scratch
isn't it?
that.
But, all right, take that out. I know that
It's live.
you're a cat lover as well, aren't you?
Yes.
I just wondered what's happening to your cat at the moment and the history of your cat.
My mum's cat question there.
Do you really care?
Yes,
I'm being nice.
15, I love cats.
You have a cat
Yes.
at 15 years old?
Yes, I love my cat.
What's its name?
Jimmy, after James Dean, because Russell and I picked him from Animal Rescue.
There you are.
And was he damaged?
No, because...
He is now. Why are you evading my mum's question? My mum's asking you a question about cats and you're evading it. Tell her about your bloody
This is
cats.
how I live, Russell.
Why are you so evasive?
This is how I live.
Crikey.
Yes, I absolutely love cats. I see a cat on the street and I'm mesmerised. And Chrissy, who you're going to meet later tonight, who you met before, she is also obsessed with cats.
Okay.
She sees a cat there and she just goes towards the cat. And
Must be a bit alarming for the cat. Having Chrissy Hind looming at her.
Often. Well, with cats, as you'll know, you can't go towards them. They have to come to you. Which is...
It's a bit like you, as a matter of fact. There's no point going towards Morrissey.
Oh, you're still here, Russell?
That's just two people, two nitwits chattering about cats. People are listening to this in their dozens back in Blighty.
Well, you know, at the beginning of this show, the 16 listeners who were glued to the radio will have increased now to 42 people.
They could be.
Mostly in Sidcup and...
I imagine the ones that were glued would have left if it weren't for the adhesive qualities of that substance.
Do you think your son is actually constitutionally insane?
He has moments of normality, about once a month.
Yes. But you were there last night and last week at the stand-up, and he was saying all this very expressive, very beyond the knuckle stuff. I mean, do you ever feel, oh dear God, where's the exit?
No, I sort of disassociate the rude things from Russell.
But it's all rude. There's nothing...
It wasn't last night, was
No,
it?
there was a few things that weren't rude.
Yeah, we mentioned the bits I didn't like last night.
Oh, yes.
I say spiritual things, don't I? I'm quite a spiritual man, like a guru or something, like a sort of a spiritual leader in waiting.
Well, is there anything that you're not? Because you seem to claim that you're everything. I'm saying this nicely as a,
Yes.
a friendly neighbour. Is there anything that you're not?
Yeah, I'm not very good at football.
Well, yes.
Or dancing.
Yes.
Or...
yeah, but you're obsessed with West Ham.
Yes, I love West Ham United very much.
That must be torture. You're obsessed with West Ham.
Yeah.
You couldn't kick a ball to save your life. Not even through a big hoop in your dressing room. That must be terrible.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And Tony Cottee, the former West Ham striker...
Yes, we know.
...keeps inviting me to take part in celebrity football matches. And I'm thinking, like at Upton Park. But it would be the realisation of a dream and a nightmare simultaneously.
Yes, it would. It would just be sympathetic, wouldn't it?
Because you think of the other people on the team might be like Danny Dyer and Ray Winston. Oh, for Christ's sake! And I think, oh, God, I can't be expected to tolerate that. Not with my feet.
I'm glad you did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known who Ray Winston was.
Well, there we are. That was a...
But it must be terrible, because it must be... I know certain people who are obsessed with music and they buy everything, but they cannot sing. And they listen to music all day, and they listen along to it, and they can't sing.
Yeah, it must be awful.
It must be horrible.
Yeah, it can't be.
It
much
must be
fun.
like having your legs permanently in chains, and there you are midfield, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, just stranded in the midfield. There's no way to live your life, is it? Morrissey, would you like to hear some of my singing that I've done on the record for the film soundtrack?
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on, what?
No.
Well, it's really good, Mum, isn't it good?
He has got a nice singing voice.
Doesn't matter. Guest, host.
Right,
That's
okay.
true.
Guest host.
Yes.
Yeah, I won't put
Yes.
that on. Would you like to hear There's Gonna Be a Showdown by the New York Dolls, even though we played it last week, especially for you?
But you don't have it.
Yeah, we got it last week. We've got... If we play it, right, it's going to be the news now. Out of the news, we will play There's Going to Be a Showdown. We dedicate that to you, former head
You really
chairman of the
have
fan
that,
club.
do you?
We played it last week, Morrissey.
Well, then why spit across the table?
I do apologise, that's an accident. Right, we've got to go to the news now. So the world can't stop for you, you realise. People still need news, Morrissey. You're listening to BBC Radio 2. We'll have Seth Rogen coming up in the next hour. More from Morrissey if he feels like it, who can tell. And but for now, let's have a little bit of news.
Russell, you've got
What?
about a minute to the news.
About a minute till the news?
Yeah.
Oh, right, that's fair enough then.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please, be my
Why
guest.
did you not tell the joke last night about the Hillary Clinton Barack
Just forgot.
McCain thing?
Yeah, I do jokes about like how democracy is an illusion and you've not got any choice because it's already predetermined. I didn't do that joke because I just forgot.
But that was a very good joke.
It's a good joke. I'll do it. I'll do it tonight. I'll make sure.
But
that
when somebody becomes the president of the US, they age very quickly. So could you imagine if John McCain becomes the president?
What's going to happen? He won't last 10 minutes, will
But
he?
they do age very quickly. Have you noticed?
Well, our Prime Minister did, didn't he? Tony
Mum
Blair
and
did
Morrissey,
as
just
well.
And he
chatting
should
away.
have. He should have aged very quickly with all that was on his mind.
There's a lot of pressure, isn't it? It's like, it's nice this. Do you want more tea, Morrissey? Can I get anyone anything? Anyone want a bun?
Russell, can
Yes.
I ask, do you want me to go now?
No,
Because you have another guest.
I mean,
don't
yeah,
you?
there are other guests, but I'm like, what can I do? If you want to do it like, I can't, I'm not in a
What
position.
do I do like?
Do you want? I mean, beyond ridiculing me on my radio, there's a journalist in the next room from USA Today. They're doing a big piece on me, saying I'm going to be a great big star. Now, she's come to this radio show in good faith.
Yes.
Last thing she needs to hear is me being all sycophantic to you.
But she's listening to what you're saying now.
She's listening to every word.
Yeah,
Quite
very
postmodern of me to do that, right? You see, I know what I'm doing.
Well, everything you do is?
Yes, I'm quite aware. We've got some emails here for Morrissey. This one is from Adam. Can you apologise to Morrissey for me? I ignored all social protocol last night and just walked up to him and shook his hand. I apologise for that. That's from Adam, Morrissey.
Well, it's not accepted.
It's not accepted, Adam. He's angry towards you. This is from Dan. Could you please ask Morrissey why he thinks he has a reputation in the media for being miserable when we can hear on your show that he is clearly rather charming? Thanks very much. Much love to you and Morrissey, etc., etc., young Dan. Why do you think that is?
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for sending that message through.
It's a genuine email.
I don't know. I think when people say what they say, the miserable word,
Yeah.
it bores me stiff. I don't really understand it, to be honest.
No, nor do I. I think a lot of your records are very funny. You seem like a very upbeat man. You seem right game for a
Well,
laugh.
I wouldn't say upbeat.
No, perhaps that's an exaggeration. Here's an email from Helen. Hello, Russell. The Island in Ilford was a great club stroke venue, but closed down about 10 years ago. Apparently after a disastrous gig by a solo chanteuse.
Oh,
You see?
what a cheap shot. You see, if you had told me this at the pub last night, Russell,
Really?
that you were going to take cheap shots.
That's not a cheap
But
shot.
how come Helen knows that and you don't?
But I'm not supposed to know about Ilford. I got out of
But
Essex full of chance.
you're from Essex, innit?
Yes. Well, the minute I was 16, whoosh, I was off.
Yeah, but 16 years is a long time. Chigwell, Loughton.
I've forgotten it all, the whole thing. It's all but a distant memory now, Morrissey. Now, perhaps, can you put on your headphones? Because we can't include Matt Morgan, who's in London, who's a very fine broadcaster. You know, this show's been nominated for a Sony Award.
I'm not enough.
You are enough. Oh, God, you sensitive maniac.
Oh.
Now, that's Matthew. Say hello to Morrissey.
Hello, Morrissey.
Matt. Well done, Matt. That's Matt. He's from Dartford, as a matter of fact. He's just across the river from me. Not far from Sidcup.
What, from Dartford?
Yes.
Yes. What, born in Dartford?
I was born and bred in Dartford, yes.
Wow.
I also got out at about, 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
We fled, you see.
It's a varied world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
Varied.
Very. It is very, very, very. Right, why don't we do our item, Jingle Race War, with... Don't you like having that on? It's upsetting you, Morrissey, don't like wearing them. Just put it on one ear, you're a singer, don't you know how they work? We can turn it down a bit.
I mean, your voice is really loud, Russell.
Yeah, I know, I do that so people feel intimidated.
Oh, you know when you do your stand-up tonight?
Yes.
Are you going to say the same things as yesterday?
No, you know me, I'm spontaneous and I improvise and I bring lots of new things to the table. Why, are you going to pop along with Chrissy Hind?
Do you mind?
No, not at all. It'd be lovely. Why don't we fill the entire audience with musical icons so I can't relax? Perhaps you could get Louis Armstrong to turn up. Right, let's do the Jingle Race War now. This is where we can't have jingle competitions because...
Was that actually a joke that he just told?
What then?
About Louis Armstrong?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Was that the punchline?
I won't use it tonight. I can see it's not gone down well. Now, on this, the BBC are not allowed to do competitions because we can't be trusted, but we are allowed to do Jingle Race Wars. Here are jingles that people send to the show, and the good ones we include and become part of the show. In fact, this jingle now that's announced... Can you please wear the headphones, Morrissey, because otherwise you can't help with this item. You can put it over just one ear. It's not going to ruin your hair, which
I only
looks
have
lovely.
one ear.
I just turned them down.
Oh, very good.
He's turned them down. You can't be that delicate.
Oh,
a loud noise
yes.
is going to upset you.
I can manage that.
That's bearable, isn't it? And if you want, I'll talk more quietly.
Do you mind?
Not in the least. If it's going to make you
Is it a struggle?
more compliant.
Is it a struggle?
It is a struggle, yeah, because people like my high-octane energy. That's what people get swept up in, the bacchanalian revelry of it all. So listen then, let's do this. Now, can we hit Matthew?
Yes.
Matt, can we hear the jingle for the Jingle Race War itself?
Okay.
Let's hear that.
Let's have a little look.
Look at him, see, he's in charge of all the technical things. Me and him are cohorts. Here, we've been nominated for an award, Morrissey, Sony Music Award. Well, no, not music, entertainment show. Good,
yeah, but do awards mean anything?
Only if you win them. Then,
really?
Well,
Yes.
it's nice to get an award, isn't it?
I never get them.
Well, you have, because I know you've won Sexy Vegetarian, a title that I currently hold in your stead. Quite rightly.
That's only because I stepped down.
Well, you may say that, Morrissey, but when it comes to Sexy Vegetarians, there can be only one winner. So, right, have you got the jingle for the Jingle Race War?
There isn't actually a jingle for the Jingle Race
Didn't
War.
someone make one? Yeah. War. What is it good for? Establishing good jingles. Remember?
You've
That
just
one.
done the jingle. Let's get on with the item.
Come on, there is one. You tried to lie to me.
We'll dig it out. Hang on. It's
Oh,
not here,
Christ. It's not there. Badly produced radio show. Oh, there's going to have to be some changes.
So
Right.
you can't really sing, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good at singing. Don't make me do a live song like I had to with Chrissy Hines. That was bloody awful. But I can.
Oh, I beg you, please. You know, fulfil my life.
It's a shame you won't listen to the song out of the soundtrack, Morrissey, because that's really, really good.
No, you're being slippery. Could you give us a song now?
I'm not going to sing a song in front of you. No, that's
Look,
worse than playing
you went
football
onto
Upton Park.
If you went onto the weakest link, she would say, "Put your board down, step to the left."
I wouldn't go on the weakest link because I wouldn't want to be
come
exposed in that fashion. No way! I'm not going to stand in front of you and sing a song. It's hard enough. Life's
Sing,
hard
Russell,
enough.
please. Come
No
on.
Russell.
way! No, I'm not
Russell.
doing it. I've
Russell.
always regretted it. That time you made me rap. I'm never doing it
Russell,
again.
can I just tell you one thing?
Go on.
If it's the last thing I ever tell you,
Yeah.
you are about to sing a song.
Oh no! Don't do that! That's bullying! No! I can't have Morrissey forcing me to sing! Stop it!
After three,
Oh no! Shut
one,
up! No!
a two,
Ah!
a three, off you go.
I don't know any records! Stop victimising me! That journalist is there from USA Today!
I
That's
don't
what
know
made me
any
look
records. I don't know any records.
Stop it! Stop victimising me! I'm meant to look composed! This is my bloody show! I'm the voice of a generation! You're making me look an idiot!
Russell,
An
sing.
idiot
Come on,
voice.
he's got
I
to
wasn't
sing.
trying to. I wasn't trying to.
Play one of the pre-recorded things. It's the same thing. I don't have to do it in front of
Russell,
you.
you know, the more you say, the worse it gets. Just sing.
No way!
Get Get it over
All right.
with.
Oh, why don't you go and do a scene out of On the Waterfront in front of James Dean?
Because you're
Bit
the
difficult.
host. You're the host.
Yeah, but you can't just go around someone's house and start making demands of
You
people.
don't invite people round for Christmas and you're not prepared to sing.
Yes, I would do that. No, this is bullying.
No.
This
One,
is bullying.
2, 3,
Stop
off
it,
you go.
no.
Russell, if you don't
Stop
sing,
bullying me.
then we'll play your version of When I'm 64.
Don't play When I'm 64 in front of Morrissey. Don't you dare play that.
Well, you've got to sing then.
I don't know any songs, Matthew. What can I sing?
You sang I Want You Back earlier. You knew all the lyrics.
No, I'm not singing I Want You Back in front of Morrissey. It's too upbeat. I need something that suits my voice. What?
Blue Moon.
What? No, I'm
Jason
scared.
Blue Moon.
Oh, please, Russell.
This is BBC Radio 2. You're listening to Russell Brand under incredible
Singing?
pressure. That's not fair to do this, is it, Mum?
Just
Mum.
sing anything. Just make something up. One of your made-up
No
songs.
way. I'm not doing a made-up song in front of Morrissey,
Are
Mum.
you professional? Are you professional?
Yeah, I'm not a professional bloody singer, though. I'm a comedian.
But you know you're going to sing in 3 seconds.
Ah! Stop bullying me. Hold on. No, I can't.
Look, Russell, stop it. Sing.
Nina Simone. You can sing that. I've heard you.
Yeah, but under this pressure, you hate it when I sing them Nina Simone song. They're Billie Holiday anyway.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
No, because that's like, oh no,
Just
why
do
are you
it.
doing this?
You know you're going to do it.
This is horrible. This is
One,
like a sex
2.
attack.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. They fly so high, they reach the sky. Then like my dreams, they fade and die. Fortune's always hiding. Fortune's everywhere. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. United. Thank you.
Bad idea.
Can I make one comment?
Yes, dear.
You shouldn't have done that.
Morrissey, you're listening to the Russell Brand Show on BBC Radio 2 whilst I, Russell Brand...
They're not.
And Victor...
They're not. You think they are.
They're
not.
listening. They're still tuned in. That's... Oh, I hate it. Why do things like that happen to me? I'm supposed to be famous now.
The only person listening is the person from USA Today. Everybody else is
I just saw her leave. She was sick in her handbag and walked out. What are you doing this to me for?
That was your handbag.
It wasn't even her own handbag.
Exactly.
Now I've just embarrassed myself singing a West Ham song.
You must be used to it.
Well, yeah, I am used to that with like 34,000 other people, not on my own like that, in front of you. What's happening now? Right, Seth Rogen's here.
You'd like me to go now?
You can stay if you want, but can
No,
you
I
please
don't
be
mind.
normal?
No, I can go. I don't mind.
I don't want you to go. I just don't want you to bully me anymore. Make me sing in front of... What are you going to make me do in front of Seth Rogen?
probably
Do
can't.
all the lines that I've knocked up.
You probably can't focus on 2 people.
Cool, I can focus. I'll be focusing on myself, whoever you put in the room. But can you just please not bully me anymore? That's all I've ever asked.
Well, I can't comply with that.
Right, look, don't embarrass me in front of Seth Rogen. I've only met him once at the premiere already.
Yeah, but you've made a mistake because he's actually heard the last 10 minutes of this broadcast.
Yeah, of course he has. He's not going to be very willing to come in here now, is he? He's got to come in and tolerate this.
I don't blame him.
All right, are you going to stay or go? It's up to you, Morrissey.
Oh, isn't that really nice?
Oh, yeah, because you never put me under pressure, did you? Didn't make me sing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles.
Beautiful host. Would you like... Russell, should I go?
What, Jen, can you take... I mean, like, stay if you want. Yeah, stay. Let's get Seth Rogen. Right, you're listening to the Russell Brand Show. Wait, well, you're actually listening to the Morrissey Show now. This is what
Annie
you're listening to.
Nightingale was never like this.
No, of course you wouldn't, 'cause you probably didn't make her sing chants down the bloody blow. Right, OK, Seth...
No, Russell,
Yes,
I will go
Morrissey.
now, so you say
you are
goodbye to
gonna
me
go?
and then you have a new guest.
OK, well, Morrissey, thank you very much for coming in. It's been an absolute delight and a pleasure and an honour to see you as always. And I particularly enjoyed it when you made me sing that song. Thank you. I'll see you later if you're coming to the gig.
I love you, Russell. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you. There goes Stephen Patrick Morrissey, chairman of the New York Dolls fan club, writer of a James Dean book as a boy, still victimised me. Thank you so much for coming. See you later, Morrissey. Bloody hell, Matt. What? You let that happen. You let that happen to me.
He was asking you to sing. You had to sing.
Why did he do that to me?
Well,
at least
weird.
it was at least a chant. What
Yeah.
weird what?
It was
Dynamic?
Well, it was. I thought you were going to do your actual. Your point was that you could sing, and then you went.
Yeah, I know,
Oh,
but-
forever blown. It just sounded
Yeah, but I
desperate.
don't want to... What can I do? I'm not going to try...
And when
yeah,
you
but
said
imagine-
fortune, that was awful. Fortune! Always favourite.
Fortune always hiding. Yeah, but it's not very easy, is it? Who do you like? Slash. Do you notice when Slash came on our radio show, I didn't go, Matt, why don't you do the opening bars of Smells Like Teen Spirit like you always do whenever you see a guitar?
Do you
Right,
think
know
that
what I mean?
Slash or played Team Spirit?
No, I don't. I know that's the only thing you can play on a guitar. I didn't sing a Morrissey song. That would have been the only thing that could have been worse, is if I've stood there and sung half a person. That's the only thing that could have made it
Don't worry,
worse.
it was good.
No, it's not good. Why do people make me do it? Like, what my mum say? What did you say, Mum? Don't worry, Mum say it's all right. It's all part of the radio show. Please welcome to the radio show, Seth Rogen, everyone. Here he is, Seth Rogen. You're being applauded in London. Seth, there's some headphones here if you want them, old bean. Have you been listening to the show, mate?
I have been listening to the show, actually.
Oh, it's been a lot of pressure.
I'm surprised Morrissey didn't stay for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, hello, mate. Oh, good to see you. Well, you know, as you just witnessed, Morrissey is a mercurial force.
He is. That was impressive. I'm amazed. I didn't actually see him. He's one of these people I don't think exists in real life.
Well, there was definitely something. I don't know.
He's almost mythical.
He's well on the way to that kind of status. But he was just there. He was torturing me. Did you hear all that?
I heard you sing.
That's not easy, is it?
No, I mean, it sounded good, though.
Thanks. That's very nice.
I don't know. It's funny. I only know you. I saw Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and that's like the most exposure to you I've ever had in my life.
Right.
So to me, you are a singer.
Ah, right.
So that wasn't that weird, I have to say. It was exactly what I expected.
Right, for you, that's what I should have been doing.
Yeah, you should have been singing.
I didn't know that you weren't a singer.
You didn't know I wasn't a singer. The lady from USA Today has, Son's handbag full of sick is still in the room. And thank you very much. So that's, just to give you a bit of backstory, I'm not a singer.
No,
Seth,
you're a comic.
I'm a comic, and Morrissey is like my sort of like my idol. From when I was a child, yeah, like I adore him and love him.
He's amazing, yeah.
Of course, and then he just and then him making me do singing. That's bullying.
You should have made him do stand-up comedy.
I know. I lost my. You can't really offer it. You know what I mean? You've got to be respectful, haven't you? He's like a guest and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very true.
You do stand-up comedy.
Tell a joke, Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey. Can't do that.
I guess not. It's true.
It's an unfair.
I don't know your persona. You could be like the mean radio guy. I don't know that. Okay.
I don't go in for mean. It's sort of like the sort of that exchange. It's like an unfair dynamic. Like say a girl could come and squeeze your bottom.
Yes.
If you squeeze a girl's bottom as retribution, that's not fair.
No, it's true.
It's
Morrissey's like a girl who squeezes your bottom.
That's Seth Rogen's views. I certainly couldn't concur with that. Probably coming here.
You put it out there.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, come on then. Let's do a nice proper interview.
Okay, let's do it. Sure.
To tell you the truth,
I'm taking my hat off.
You're doing a lovely job of that. Yes. Now, Seth, even though you're someone I've only met briefly...
We met very briefly the other night.
Yeah, that was it was like difficult for me because I was...
That was a crazy night. Yeah. It must be crazy, you know, it's a big premiere. That's your first like American movie, I assume?
Yeah, right? Yes, of course. And it was like, it was an extraordinary evening.
It's a lot.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
You've recently gone through all of that stuff with your films, Knocked Up, Superbad, etc., etc. How are you coping?
Well, I was so glad. I was saying, like, it's so much more fun when you're not in the movie. For me, that was a really fun night because no one wanted to talk to me. They were all talking to you guys. It was actually great. How
did you cope though with the rapid ascent to fame that you? I mean, you started doing stand up when you were like 13. And stuff like that, right?
I mean, I guess in the last. Year or so, there's definitely been an escalation in recognition, I would say. But I don't go out much, man. I don't do anything. I just I literally stay at home a lot of the time and play video games.
Right.
And it really has not changed much. I think it's because I have a girlfriend. If I was single, it would maybe be like a whole other world.
Right, yeah, of course. Because
if you're a guy like me, you're always, that's like, you don't get laid that much before you're famous. Right. And then you get famous and then it happens. But that would be really the only significant change in my life. But I already have a girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend, so you're not able to take advantage of sexual opportunities.
Exactly.
Do you ever think that that's a bit of a shame?
No, I probably would just be letting tons of women down anyway. This way it's more localized to one woman. Yeah, I'd rather not spread that out too much.
One woman is like a Christ-like woman.
Exactly, she's bearing the cross of all my bad sexual exploits
rather
for women across
America.
Exactly.
I'm going to tolerate
that is who I would sleep with.
Shoddy sex, but
all womankind.
I imagine you're probably quite a generous lover. I would think from the looks of you. You seem like a sensitive kind of a man.
I am. I'm lazy. I'm kind of heavy. I'm lazy. I'm kind of, I fight for the bottom.
You fight for you definitely much rather be on the bottom.
Yeah.
Sexual dynamic.
Definitely.
You mean bottom, of course, in the American sense, not as in anus.
It's not in the British sense.
Yeah,
when you're going for the bottom.
Now, Seth, I also happen to know that in studio in the United Kingdom we have the brilliant former Mouldy Peaches artist Adam Green. Is Adam Green still there, Matt, or has he walked off?
He's in the gallery area.
He's in the gallery, so are you aware of the Mouldy Peaches and Adam Green and stuff, Seth?
No.
Brilliant. Well, he's good. He is.
It sounds good.
I've just been handed a letter. Adam is ready when you are. He needs one song and a small chat. He has flown from Scotland to do the show. Because, see, I'll tell you why, because we knew that Adam Green was in studio, but I said before the show, this will be really difficult, because Morrissey's in here. If Morrissey don't get up and walk out, I can't do
You can't be like, okay, Morrissey, thanks for coming, good to see you.
It's bad enough with Noel Gallagher comes on this show a lot, and but like, at least Noel Gallagher, he's like, I sort of have a kind of equal relationship with him. You know, so but he's bad enough. He came on last week and was like a yobbo to Jonah Hill.
Yeah, that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah, so that was embarrassing.
I thought he was the nice one.
He is. So imagine, Liam, Jonah wouldn't have escaped with his life.
No, exactly. Even via telephone, he would have got him somehow.
He'd have found some way of releasing spores of negativity down the telephone. Is what I imagine. But anyway, so hold on. So how much show do we have left? How should we do? Why don't we get Adam in studio in the UK? Get Adam to do a nice little number.
Adam is in place. There's
Adam, hello. Adam Green, how lovely of you to come on our show. I'm sorry it's been so shambolic. Are you well?
What? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, man, he's the perfect guest for the situation, because I imagine Adam Green is in tune with that kind of energy. You listen to BBC Radio 2. Adam, are you going to do a live performance for us, dear?
Yeah, I brought some backup singers.
You've got backup singers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Well, don't say that, because I'm here with, Seth Rogen's an attractive and brilliant man, but there will be no sex. He's already said he's lazy and likes to go on the bottom.
I know, I saw that part of the movie.
Yeah, right, we're all aware. He's been very candid about his sexual limitations.
I know, it's all over the silver screen.
Exactly.
It's all up the silver screen. I've got a silvery lap, a delightful sheen, a milky glove of guilt I wear. So, okay, Adam Green, will you do a nice song for us, the people of the world? What is it?
It's called Morning After Midnight.
Adam Green, what a fantastic song that was. Morning After Midnight. Me and Seth listened to that like we were record executives, sort of sagely nodding.
Yeah, this kid's got it.
You've got a head on your hands there,
because I got class.
You got real class, man. Hey, your backing singers do sound really attractive. I got a bit distracted by that. Are they?
Yes.
Yes, they're tens.
They're wow.
Tens. And they can sing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And they're South London girls.
Oh, good South London women.
Yeah,
I just involuntarily cupped my own genitals, Adam.
He literally did. He couldn't help but touch himself when he said the word South London women.
Oh, yeah.
The women of South London, you've got to get cupping. Oh, well, girls, stick around. I'm back in London for Jonathan Ross's show next week, so if you want to leave your details there, don't let them near Matt Morgan. We don't want him
actually, that's why I agreed to do your show, is because I thought you were Jonathan Ross.
Right, no, I'm not Jonathan Ross. Adam, you can't make those kind of blunders.
What? That's why I'm serious.
No, I'm not Jonathan Ross. I'm not like, what's next? Right, so Morrissey comes on the show, makes me sing a football chant. Adam Green, who I've long admired, I loved your work with Mouldy Peaches.
Did we meet each other?
You and I?
Yeah.
We met each other in a stairwell at Coco's Club in Camden. I was with Carl Barat, and I remember
that's
being
what
quite
I
bitter.
thought. That's what I thought.
Carl did not make enough effort to do a good introduction of me, and I've always carried a bit of a resentment about it. So Carl Barat from the Libertine.
We call him Lazy Bones.
You call him Lazy Bones?
Yeah, that's what he's called on the street. That's his street name.
His street name's Lazy Bones.
Yeah.
That's his tag. That's how we know him. LB, Lazy Bones, Carl Barat there. Whereas I'm known as JR, Jonathan Ross. My crazy suits and my
no, really, though. No, really. No, we never heard of Jonathan Ross in the States. Never. I'm serious. No one's ever heard of him.
No, I like
right?
your voice.
Seth, no, right?
No, no, only from my Europe.
Yeah, right.
Have you been on Jonathan Ross yet, Seth?
14 times.
14 times. Pop over.
I host when he's sick.
Standing in
he's
this
bulimic. He's bulimic, so he's sick a lot.
Exactly.
He's forever vomiting. His dressing room stinks.
Balance it out, yeah.
For God's sake, we've got to have someone on who looks comfortable with their body image.
It's impossible, man. I'm getting fat. I'm Seth Rogen fat.
Adam!
It's a good place to be.
What?
Okay.
That's what's happening, man. I eat a lot of Torque food. Are you hip to Ryder? You guys get Riders in the comedic showbiz?
Listen, we got in this room now. There's cornucopias of gorgeous fruit. We've got South London
like Thanksgiving dinner.
There's a shrimp platter, very
large. Oh, look at that all in ice. Delicious.
Russell, have you been in America long enough to celebrate a Thanksgiving?
No, I've never celebrated a Thanksgiving on accounts of you. No, it seems a bit like nicking a country off someone. Is it that celebration?
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, but it's forgiving though. It's a forgiving feast.
It's true. I'm Canadian, so I actually only recently had my first
Thanksgiving. Oh my god!
It's great because all you do is eat. It's like a holiday. It's just a meal. Like it's not like you say, I'm Jewish, so I'm used to you got to go through 6 hours of prayers to get to.
No way, me too. Man. I'm Jewish too.
Exactly. So it's like Passover without all the crap. You just get to eat.
We should
It's
hang
amazing.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why not? Just have
we'll
a
eat together.
delicious feast, the pair of you, on any occasion. Do it on Easter. Go mental. Have Christian holidays. Do what you like. Eat on a Muslim day, for heaven's sake. Celebrate what you will. Crikey, all the chaos and the madness of it all. Adam Green, is there anything that you feel... I wish, Adam, how long are you in the country? It would be lovely to spend time talking to you, because I can hear that you're quirky.
No, I would love to. I'm going to actually have to go to Cologne, Germany tomorrow. I'm staying in an airport hotel. I never ever stayed in an airport hotel before.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah, it's going to be noisy. And there's a lot of construction.
There's going to be a lot of construction. There's people that are staying there that don't want to be there.
No one wants to be there. No one wants to be there.
No.
Who wants to be in an airport hotel? Just drink the shampoo.
And I'm just like one of those guys that doesn't want to be there with everybody.
You're
else.
another one. Well, in fact, then maybe you'll fit in, Adam. Maybe it'll be okay.
maybe I'll
You
find
and
my
some
people.
German
Maybe I'll
businessmen.
finally find my people.
At last. It's going to be a homecoming for you, this very much. It's going to be a Zionist trip to a Cologne airport hotel for you.
Oh my God,
Adam
there's this part of Cologne, it's called Carnival. You know that? They have Carnival like everywhere, I guess. But
well, they just keep having carnivals.
There's ones all clowns. And last time I was there, I saw a subway car filled with clowns. Everyone was a clown on the whole car.
German clowns?
Everybody.
That's weird.
That's horrific.
That's horrific because these people clowning around. I don't. That must be a lot of pressure for the Germans.
You will laugh.
Look at the pathos etched across my face.
No, and this lady was like, this lady was like, oh yeah, and then everyone gets drunk to get laid. And I'm thinking, like, all these clowns are humping each other.
No. Now, Adam Green, this is the Queen's radio station. You've just planted into the mind of Great Britain humping clowns.
No,
We've got
clown
Seth Rogen
porn,
here. He's
man.
been
Clown
impeccable.
porn is rare. It's uncommon.
It's very uncommon.
No, have you know
clown porn.
bukkake? Have you ever heard bukkake?
We know what bukkake... Right, let's leave bukkake, darling, because that's a naughty term. We know what that is.
Clown,
you can look it up on the internet.
Clown is not even listed under the subject.
But there is some clown porn. I think the fact that there's any is weird.
That is very niche. The fact that anyone's bothered to put someone
it does
somewhere.
Exist. I've seen one. If it's gotten to me, then it's out there.
Have you any interest in clown porn? Is just in the general search?
Only as a collector.
I think that's so much. Yeah,
as an archivist.
In context, I appreciate its context in the world.
Adam Green, there, the connoisseur and expert of clown porn.
I'll tell you the good stuff from the bad.
You really are. You are the guiding light when it comes to Pirandello pornography. When it comes to commedia della wank, you are the numero uno authority. Adam Green, we're going to have to close you down, not emotionally, but in a literal way, so I can do this interview with Seth Rogen. You've been fantastic. Tell the South London singers to leave their details. You're listening to the Russell Brand Show.
What do you say to that? What do you ladies say?
Matthew?
Oh, they can't hear you. They can't hear you. They're totally indifferent about you. They thought you were Jonathan Ross.
Tell them Jonathan Ross wants their phone number.
They laughed at you. They're just laughing at you.
That's how it starts, Adam. It always starts with a laugh.
I know.
And ends with a morning after pill. Wow, you're right there, Matthew.
Yeah, it's been a hectic show, huh?
And it's been mental. What a lot of madness. We're here with Seth Rogen. He is our very special and honoured guest. Thank you for coming, Seth.
Oh, no problem.
You stepped into a maelstrom.
I did.
Because, like,
I don't know what that word means, but I guess I stepped in one.
Sort of like a storm, a malevolent storm, a negative storm of insanity. Because it's really difficult. Because we're doing two simultaneous radio shows. It's like spinning plates. We've got Adam Green there.
I know, it's true. Yeah.
Clown sex. He's bringing up already. That's a complicated idea to navigate.
It is. Along with everything else that's going on, that's complicated.
Off the back of having to sing with.
I'm pretty good at navigating with clown sex. That doesn't throw me off.
You can use their red nose as a sort of a focal point.
I just kept looking at this the entire time.
Seth's microphone has got a red foam cap on it, so don't, with all the context that it's been placed in.
It's true.
Keep control of yourself.
Dirty.
Suddenly now the whole thing seems rather smutty. And my mum's in the room now as well. That's my mum, Babs. That's Seth
Hi,
Rogen.
nice to meet you.
Seth.
How's it going?
My mum's having a nice time. You're a lovely man with lovely manners and a wonderful, gentle air about you, if I may say so.
Thank you.
Seth, I will now interview you in a professional fashion.
Okay, look, you wrote a little list of questions.
Yes, there's some nice things here to ask you about.
Okay.
Seth, you were a staff writer on the Ali G show. Oh, that's good. Did you like being a writer on the Ali G show?
I did.
Did you work with Sasha at all?
I did.
You have to speak to him and that?
I did have to talk to him, yeah.
Were you also doing performing while writing on other shows?
No, I was totally unemployed and as a performer, I would say. And Yeah, I wrote. Do you know those guys? Are you friends with those guys?
We don't know them. No,
You don't know?
no, because they got all famous over here while I was still scrabbling around in the ghetto in the United Kingdom.
Well,
so.
how famous? I mean, you're pretty famous.
I'm pretty famous.
I want you to contextualize. I mean,
Okay, look, that's my book over there.
You have a book. I noticed
It's very
that.
important.
You have a book.
I win sort of awards for things.
That's
and
good.
You see, how you were talking about the only point really in being famous, being able to be famous is to be able to have sex with people, and that
Yeah.
I've been exploiting that ruthlessly for some years now.
That's good.
Almost like that's the main job.
It
Like,
kind of that'll become the job.
the performance has been relegated pretty much. Oh God, oh no, sorry, I'm not going to be able to appear at the theatre. I've got to have sex
It's
with
just
these.
fuel in the tank. Yeah.
Very, very much, yeah. So that's pretty much the context of it. Hey, so with your writing, is your writing just so that you can be in things, or will you still write things from? I suppose did you write Drill Bit Taylor?
I did, but that I actually wrote it. I wrote it a few years ago, just because again I was totally unemployed. I did it around this. I kind of just couldn't get work as an actor for years and years and years.
So you wrote stuff.
So I just wrote stuff, just because it's kind of easier to do that for
You can
work.
just do
I
that in your
guess.
bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. You can't sit around and act all day.
You can't. I mean, people that strikes people as
That'd be weird.
Right,
but you
what's he-
can write all day.
yeah. People, if you're just sitting around writing, people will go, "Oh, he's studious."
Yeah. If you sat around just acting all day,
People think, "Well,
they
why
think
is that
you were a
happening?"
weirdo.
Yeah, that's where I went wrong in adolescence as a result of that exact.
Really?
Oh, mother! How art thou? She, all right, dear. I'll just put the kettle on. So it seems it's disruptive for people. Seth is starring in and writing the new Green Hornet film. Are you doing those things?
Yeah, I was actually doing it today.
Well, yeah,
Writing
before you
it.
got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you able to concentrate when you're sitting writing?
I am.
Really? What
Yeah.
What do you do? Just lose yourself off in your imagination?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I have a partner I write with, which makes it easier. So it just kind of feels like you're hanging out with your friend, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, we write. I mean, how do you write? You must write jokes. You
Well,
know?
sometimes I write with my mate Matt, who's doing this radio show.
Yeah.
Matt, say hello
He doesn't
to...
write at all. He strides around shouting. Other people write it down.
Yeah, I like to stride around shouting.
I like to do that too. I like to kind of pace, and
Yeah.
I pretend I'm a much slower typer than I am, so people get frustrated
Yes,
with me while
I
I'm
do
at the
that.
computer. Yeah,
I've told people I have multiple sclerosis.
exactly.
So, oh,
Pee, 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 pee.
I've written this. It's called... it's an avant-garde. It's a German expressionist piece.
I keep writing this joke. Yeah.
Because it's really not hitting. It's ideally it would be performed by naked clowns, but no one seems to like it. As well as appearing in numerous comedies, Seth has been in angsty teen drama. Dawson's
Who wrote
Creek.
that? Did I write that?
No, right, might be from
Yeah,
your.
it sounds like the one I write and send out to people.
I know, there's something I wrote really early on in my career. I had to write like a sort of a biography type thing, and I really did. It was when I was like, I didn't have many accolades or achievements,
Yeah.
so I was really smarmy about quite tedious and trivial things, and it's remained like people quote it still in the sort of like the booklet that comes out along with Sarah Marshall, like the biography in there of Russell Brand. It's it's got these things. Trained at the Italia Conti Stage School, Russell Brand knocked him bandy and Bugsy Malone. I have to still read it now. It still stalks me.
It's true, yeah. Until recently, I had on my resume a play I did with the Jewish summer camp I went to called Shlomo Gump.
Shlomo Gump.
And I was Shlomo Gump. And that was on my resume for a while.
Appearing as Shlomo
that was,
Gump.
on my bio. I was like, so tell us about Shlomo Gump.
So it'll crop up. People will say that about you.
Yeah. It's out there.
Yeah.
Shlomo's out there. I'm proud of it, though.
Shlomo's out there. It's gathering momentum.
Exactly. I think Shlomo's going to pick up speed. They've optioned it. The Weinsteins.
Yeah, the Weinsteins will pick up on Shlomo. Well, I think it's about time, because a piece of work like Shlomo Gump, its day was always going to come.
It's true. I think the cross between Jewish Zionistic ideals and a slow Southern man with a shrimp company always were destined to intersect at one point.
Thank God you were present to provide us with that intersection of Shlomo Gump. I now understand completely what that would be
I was there
about.
for it, yeah.
Seth is often described in the press as being part of Hollywood's frat pack. Does that happen a lot? Do you see someone describing you as part of an Hollywood frat pack?
No, not at all.
No.
Who wrote? No, I wouldn't describe myself. I think I'm around 30 years younger than all those guys.
Yeah, you are. Look at this. But in fact,
I could be Vince Vaughn's son.
You could be. You are 30 years before. Look at this. Frank Sinatra. This is ridiculous. You're not friends with any. A lot of these people are dead.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra, yeah, Dean Martin.
Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah, me and Dean Martin have done a few movies together.
You
though,
guys.
actually.
There's something about it where your tax is undone.
It's true. Joey Bishop was originally going to be in Superbad.
Yeah.
we had to replace him.
Alas, not available.
No, he wasn't.
Because
Is he dead?
Life is terminal.
I think he's dead, yeah.
One of the things we've discovered as it goes on. Right, so you do, like, listen to this then. Stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You started doing it when you were 13.
That's true.
Yeah.
That one's true.
Were you any good at it?
I actually was okay at it then. When did you start? How old were you when you started?
Much older, probably about sort of 22, I reckon. Once I got thrown out of a drama school.
Yeah.
Not for the quality of the acting, which was always adequate.
For being a punk?
For being oh God, I was a bad. Oh, Seth. You know, terrible tales I could tell you, and probably will find a way of crowbarring them in at some point. Yes, I started doing stand-up then, but I'd had some life experience. What at 13? What do you say to people? What are your jokes?
Well, I was very aware that there weren't a lot of 13-year-old comics out there, so I would talk about 13-year-old stuff. I'd talk about like my bar mitzvah and like trying to touch girls' breasts for the first time,
right.
And trying to get my driver's license and my grandparents, and it was. I wasn't bad at it. I mean,
bet you were all right.
It wasn't revolution. I wasn't like I stopped for a reason. I didn't. Right. I knew I wasn't gonna be the next Martin Lawrence. I don't know who's a funny guy. That's a bad example. But I thought that's kind of why I started writing screenplays and acting. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was a lot of fun always.
To laugh, and it's quite a lot of pressure. I suppose it's quite good that you had the advantage of being able to talk about, because initially people may have been, oh my God, he's talking about touching 13-year-old girls' breasts, but then they'd have to go on, but he himself is a 13-year-old
Exactly.
boy.
If you did that joke, it probably wouldn't play the same.
Well, yeah, I did it, and let me tell you, people were thoroughly disappointed.
Have you had problems with that?
Yeah, I did a little time.
Really?
Yeah, it got ugly. No, of course not. Right, here's some more questions for you. Starring in Green Hornet, what do you think now? Yeah, these kind. Look at this question here, Seth. Define funny.
Define funny.
Could you define funny?
I was hoping you would ask that, actually. That's
it's a golden opportunity.
I've been preparing that for a while. Define funny. That's pretty good. When I was in London, actually, I happened to be watching a talk show. I don't know who, but the Noel Gallagher was on it with Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, yeah.
And they started talking about you. And they started saying how you made a joke about sleeping with Kimberly Stewart or something like that.
Yeah, that was a bad time.
And a giant argument broke out. And that was, around the time when, Sarah Marshall was finishing up, and I kind of heard your name, and that was, thought it was hilarious.
Thank you.
Because I actually worked with Kimberly Stewart, weirdly enough, on a TV show called Undeclared years ago. She was in one episode, and she annoyed me a great deal.
She annoyed me. Let me tell you, following her back to her hotel room for no good reason.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was funny. I had a good laugh at that.
It was difficult. I ended up being quite roundly humiliated as a result of that, and it was lovely for Noel Gallagher to stand up for me. What happened was, I had a couple of dates with Kimberly. She came back to my house a couple of times, then did that thing when someone comes back to your house and then they don't want to have it off. You think, oh bloody
why the hell? What are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we going to do? There's nothing on the telly. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. You don't hang out with Kim Stewart for the conversation. For the late night.
I learned that
reflections on
the late night reflections were lacking in momentum, in profundity. A lot of the reflections were just about the superficial things like hairdos.
Didn't she demand a cuddly toy or something?
Yeah, I think she did demand. Oh, she got in my bloody bed. She had the. You're right, Matt. She demanded a cuddly toy. I goes, well,
couldn't sleep without one.
You can cuddle that, sweetheart. If you're very welcome. But she declined. Yeah, I had to find her a cuddly object somewhere.
Like a pillow, or
Yeah, there was nothing cuddly in the house. I got rid of all cuddly things in my attempt to create an environment.
A sex dome.
Right, the sex dome. You don't want. And here's that rabbit in the sex dome. The old sex dome would be completely undermined.
Exactly. Yeah.
Seth, would you be so kind as to help us with a regular item we do on this show called Gay?
Okay.
We help people with their gay problems. It's got a jingle. Have we got that jingle there just so that we can... Gay!
Check that out.
That jingle was made by a fan. The fans.
Really? It's fan fiction? That's awesome.
It's good, isn't it?
People are doing that, yeah.
In fact, have you ever been the subject of fan fiction?
I have not, actually.
Well, it's only a matter of time.
I might have been, actually.
Because fan fiction is where people will take
you... They write you, and it's like they'll make like me and Captain Picard having sex on the Enterprise or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like... I think nerds, like my friends on that TV show Numbers, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's about mathematicians that solve crimes. And apparently, like, people write a lot. Like, there's an inordinate amount of fan fiction about that. Because there's something about the math community in repressed sexual fantasies.
That's got a lot of time on their hands just thinking about numbers. And they go, oh my God, it's all getting pent up.
Exactly.
I have to release it. Yeah, I cupped myself again.
It's just that your crotch is so at my face level the way that we're doing it.
So sorry.
It's so apparent when it happens.
We should change. One of us should...
It's okay. No, I like it.
You're comfortable.
It's bringing a level of intimacy to the interview. Yeah.
Yeah, with you being at the level of my crotch. It certainly isn't meant to be suggestive. I consider you an equal, very much. At least, I'm certainly not an aggressive man. So here we are. Look, this is our item gay thing that we do. This is to help people with gay things.
With gay things.
Yeah, any gay problem they might have. This is our opportunity to help those lovely gays. Right, this is one from Rachel. I wonder if you can help us, she says. I started university this year, met an attractive man in a Freshers' Week. Luckily, he lived in the same halls of residence. We became good friends with him and 2 other girls. Then I developed a crush on him. We spent so much time together. The thing is, no one knows if he's gay or not. Because we're close friends, everyone else asks me whether he's in or out of the closet. He never talks about girls or guys he fancies, never pulls anyone. He's incredibly tidy and loves shopping. Okay, more than most girls. And his best friend from home is gay. Is there a way I can find out if he's gay without ruining the friendship, as I'm living with him and friends in the house next year? Seth, it's over to you. How can Rachel wheedle out this man's sexuality without blundering?
I mean, it's the age-old... I mean, that's the mother of all gay questions, isn't it? That's the holy grail of gay questions.
This is it. There's nowhere for us to go beyond that. That is it.
No,
that's the archetypal...
That's the one.
Can we answer?
You know someone you think is gay. How do you know?
How do we wheedle it out of them? We've got to get some sort of... Rachel needs to know before she gets into that hall of residence. Rachel clearly wants to have heterosexual sex with this man.
And you know what's funny is for all the gay people I know and the people who seem gay that I don't know, I don't know anyone who's actually just asked someone if they were gay or not.
You gay? Yeah, no, that never gets said, does it?
No, and maybe that's the question. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's so simple. It's as plain as the noses on our face. We just haven't.
It's the plain as a nose on a pornographic clown's dirty face.
Exactly, on the smut-covered nose of a
dirty German clown.
So maybe just ask.
Just march straight up to him and go, "Are you gay?"
Say, you know what? People keep asking me if you're gay, and I don't know what to say. Put it off on them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
Just happened for the 30th time this week. Someone asked me if you were gay,
and I sort of sometimes wonder myself.
I just want to know, should I tell them yes or no?
Because it's building up. Like you're.
Yeah, like you don't want to know. Just like, what should I tell them?
Like you're their publicist.
Yeah, exactly. How are we going to handle this whole gay question?
Okay, the gay question. It keeps coming back. We're going to have to handle this.
We could use it as an opportunity.
Yeah, perhaps we use it as an opportunity because there's a bit. The pink pound is very strong. Exactly. The pink dollar. There's a lot to be made in that. You could say it pacing up and down like that, like you're in the middle, right? So that's
exactly like you're pitching them on something,
right? Like you're pitching it. Matthew Morgan in London. How do you think this gay issue should be dealt with?
Well, obviously asking him's one, but I reckon check his MySpace, his Facebook. How does he, advertise himself on those?
Right,
there's a little box, isn't there, for
and it says orientation.
I will say, from my experience, also, if a guy, if someone seems gay, they're usually gay.
But then, Russell, loads of people think you're gay.
But you don't seem. I mean, it maybe just because you are wearing a dress right now. But I guess, but after talking to you it's clear. I mean, and I'm not, I have nothing against gay people. Obviously, I'm not homophobic at all. But you don't seem gay. Well, talking to you.
No.
I mean, you clearly sleep with a lot of chicks. So there's another reason why you don't seem gay.
So I crushed that rumor.
Exactly. So I think if someone does seem gay, from my experience, they usually argue this guy probably is gay.
He's probably gay.
Yeah.
Rachel, he's probably gay. Don't even know. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
But she should say to him that she should go, I think I might be a lesbian. And then see how he deals with that.
Hold on. Hang on, Matt Morgan. Right out of the left. Yeah, that could work.
The old switcheroo.
The Tennessee switcheroo. I think I might be a lesbian.
And the way he deals with that, you'll find out.
If he goes, that's against God. You sicken me. You should be sewn up.
Or you find another guy that she knows that might be gay also, and you let's say this guy named John who also might be gay.
John.
And you go to this guy and you're like, what do you think of John? You think he's gay or not?
Yeah.
And maybe you can see how he handles that.
If he goes, I'd like to think so.
Exactly.
Sometimes I lay awake at night dreaming.
Yeah, exactly. I need more backstory on this guy. Is he right wing? What were his parents? Is his dad a preacher? I mean, all these things.
Rachel's problem is very difficult to resolve. It's very complex. It's the perennial problem. Seth has described it as the archetypal gay question. We're trying to solve it, Rachel, but there's so many ways. So far we've come up with Just downright ask.
Yep.
Pretend to be a gay publicist.
Yes.
Pretend you're a lesbian.
Spin it.
Pretend that there's another gay lad called John. Use gay John. In fact, he's real gay John. Use gay John.
I know, he's in the other room.
Use gay John. Probe gay John. Use him. Use gay John. Like, of all of those options, I think ultimately... But hold on, you know, a minute ago we said that thing about, if someone seems gay, they probably are gay.
Yeah.
What about them people? You sort of think, he's definitely gay. And they go, this is my wife? And you think, oh, come on. This is a sham.
That's true.
What's going on?
Again, I think looking into that person's sociological background will often shed some light. Like, again, if their dad's a preacher or something weird like that, then they probably are gay.
Right.
Lots of preachers have gay kids.
A lot of preachers are out there knocking out their gay kids. Do you know that the bloke who produces this show, Nick,
is his dad a preacher?
His dad's a preacher.
Sorry, Nick.
And also, he's an insomniac as well. Nick, he's called. He's an insomniac lad. And he can't sleep. We think that may be guilt because his dad's a preacher.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps now we can assume because he's a gay.
I think
that might be what it is.
Never met him, but I think it's safe to assume that.
Right. Well, that's that out there. This is the way, Reverend Philps, your son has got something awful and against the Bible to tell you
every day.
But we've solved two problems here. There's one more gay problem, and this is from Dick Nixon. Wow. Good old
Dick Nixon. Yeah. You should ask him the gay question.
Yeah, Richard Nixon. Yeah, hold on. It could be Richard Nixon. You're quite right, Matt. That could have happened. Lovingly yours, Stephen. This is Stephen. I don't know why he's using Dick Nixon. Oh, perhaps he's trying to conceal his identity. I'm a 17-year-old former listener. Why? Hold on a minute. Oh, I don't like that for a start to it.
Have you had a dip lately? Have there been a drop off?
Figures have been soaring. Come on, get with it. What's going on with Dick Nixon? Well, this is terrible. Since Watergate, he's lost interest.
Maybe it's a question about Richard Nixon's sexuality.
Right, let's see if it is. Since moving to America for my dad's job, perhaps becoming president, I've been listening via podcast to keep up. My problem is that I'm the only gay in my class that I know about. I'm still closeted, but I think some people suspect, and I want to ask a guy out, but he is straight. I don't want to freak him out or get beat up by him. What should I do? Thank you so much. Lovingly yours, Stephen. Oh, Stephen, you lovely gay lad. What's he going to do?
I'd say, God bless him. He's out there and he's in high school. If he knows the guy's not gay, he probably should not ask him out.
Don't ask out not gay people, you idiot! What are you thinking?
And he's aware of what will happen if he does, but he just seems like he can't help himself.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's tormented. That is a demented idea, young man. Don't do it. Keep that. What you want to do is, look, how gay are you?
The answer's in the question.
The answer's in the question. It was all there for us, as it often is in many theological problems such as that. Suppress your gayness. Perhaps you're not gay. That's what I would say to you. Just come on, give it another chance. There might be something wrong with you. Listen, that is obviously not our advice. I'm well into being gay. Sometimes I'll just give it a whirl of a weekend just to, for the novelty of it all. Okay, well, I think we've solved all those gay problems.
I think so, yeah.
Dick, keep your mouth shut. Other bird, Rachel. I think we should probably go for using John, the probing guy, or pretending to be a lesbian. Those sound.
Those were both pretty good. Yeah, I like both those. Or just ask them.
Yeah, there's always that. But to tell you the truth, I selected both of those things because I think it would be most amusing for us.
Oh, good.
That's the way that I'm.
Those weren't just random emails.
No, well, I mean, no, these emails have been selected very much like your questions. So in terms of the advice I offered, Seth, I thought, what outcome would I like to watch? You know, like those books you read as a kid, Choose Your Own Ending.
Adventures.
Yeah. Did you cheat on those books, Seth?
Oh, I would read them all, yeah. I would just read them through, and it made no sense.
Right. It's like some bizarre expressionistic novel. What?
He's jumping around.
That character's dead.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense at all. They're in love, they hate each other.
I would secretly be so psyched when I chose the you could just get killed ending, because then I got to finish reading.
Yeah, right.
I read this book in 4 minutes.
Look at me. I'm some kind of whiz kid. There's that read all over and done. I can go back to me computer.
Yeah.
Matthew, should we put on a record? Have you got any... Well,
it's the end of the show, Russ.
What, the show's over?
Yeah, G's in position.
G, right, with the poet laureate of the show, Mr. G is here. Seth, I asked him very politely, what he does is he writes a poem where he summarises the entire show.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, during the show.
Does it rhyme usually?
It rhymes. Sometimes. It always rhymes. Sometimes. It's always good. There's often a consistent metaphor throughout it. And I said to him at the beginning of the show, though, make an effort to include the guests in the rhyme.
Wow.
Because sometimes he doesn't include the guests, and I'm embarrassed. He does the rhyme, and the guests sort of might be waiting for them.
What the hell was I here for if not to get in this rhyme?
If I'm not in the rhyme, don't do the rhyme if you can't do the time.
Exactly.
So listen, what I want to hear, so Mr. G, poet laureate of the show, will now summarise this brilliant and extraordinary radio show with what can only be described as a verse. Mr. G, it's over to you.
Okay, this poem is called Sidcup Serenade. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers, empowered by half an hour, new listeners deflowered. Drop, drop, drip, the sound of breaking lifts, or elevators for translators ready for Morrissey equipped. Say goodbye to Uncle Bob and hello to Sid Cup, and boob slaves, confused cravings and cheese stains and schmucks. Opportunity knocks in the form of bottle tops, be it yoga bobber jobs or singing on the spot. Tick, tick, tock, purple ackies exploding. Seth Rogen's now coping, fighting for the bottom groping. Tock, tock, tick, South London always comes fit. Adam Green flew into CJR but clowned with RB.
Woo! Well done.
There you go.
You did actually rhyme Seth's own name with another name of Logan.
It's okay.
That's all right. That's actually part of his job as a poet. It's a fantastic poem. You've summarised the show beautifully there, Mr. G. Splendid work, and you did include all of the guests. Right, so while the show's going on, it's pretty impressive.
That was pretty amazing, yeah.
Pretty amazing.
That would take me 3 months.
3 months for that?
Yeah, three and a half months.
Just done it in a couple of hours.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Just making a mockery of everything anyone's ever achieved before him there, Mr. G, the poet laureate of the show. OK, so is it literally time for me to wrap up this show now?
Yep.
We've got 20 seconds to wrap up the show. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed the other half hour, the extra half hour. Thank you to all our guests, Adam Green and E Crazy. Morrissey was here. We didn't have time for Roland Rat. That's a very great pity. I do apologise for that. Roland Rat was meant to be on the show, but you know what, with all the pressure and everything, and there is a war on. Seth Rogen, thank you so much for coming in. Have you enjoyed your time here?
I did. It was a blast. Yes.
You've solved some gay problems while here.
I think I helped. I did. I made a difference.
I think really, that's one thing we could
from
say.
this little room.
I think if one thing from this tiny room,
we've reached lives.
Yeah, we really have.
Yeah.
You know, and if we can eradicate just one gay during the show,
it's made a difference.
We really have. Mucking about, come on, sitting about and laughing, sicking up stuff. I'm really, for me, the real highlight was being forced to sing by Morrissey. That's thank you very much for that, world. Seth, thanks for coming, old Bean. It's been delightful to have you. Matthew, did you enjoy the show, mate?
Yes, craziness.
Yes, been nice, isn't it? Next week we're going to analyse some of those doodles.
Are you back
do.
here next week?
Yeah, I'm popping back to do Jonathan Ross, but I think we'll have to pre-record the show. Jonathan Ross, who I believe Adam Green thinks that I am still, right. So that's good. For him, that's going to be
doing
baffling.
Your own show, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The universe will collapse on itself.
Oh my God, this is an oxymoronic TV show. What a paradox! It's jarring.
Don't let them touch.
Oh, don't cross the streams. Yes, it will be the ghost. Oh my God, it could ruin everything. The whole lineage of time. Thank you everybody for listening to this show. Now to catch up in what else is going on in the world, although it'll be a much less elaborate version and probably a bit more biased here on 88 to 91 FM Radio 2. Bloody old news.